Psalms. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the assembly of the scornful. But his delight is in the Torah of Yahweh, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he will be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in the proper season, its leaf also will not wither, and whatever he does will prosper. The wicked are not so, but are like the chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Yahweh knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. Why do the nations conspire, and the people devise emptiness? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh, and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands apart and cast away their cords from us. He that sits in the cosmos will laugh, Adonai will have them in derision. Then will he speak to them in his fury, and trouble them in his burning anger. Still I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will recount the decree. Yahweh has said to me, You are my son, this day have I engendered you. Ask of me and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, and the ends of the land for your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron, you will dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now therefore, O kings, be instructed you judges of the land. Serve Yahweh with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Hug the air, unless he is angry and you perish from the way, when his anger is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Yahweh, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there are that say about my life, There is no help for him in Elohim. Selah. But you, O Yahweh, are a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. I cried to Yahweh with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. Selah. I laid down and slept, I arouse, for Yahweh sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me all around. Arise, O Yahweh, deliver me, O my Elohim, because you have struck all my enemies upon the cheekbone, you have broken the teeth of the wicked. Salvation belongs to Yahweh, your blessing is upon your people. Selah. Hear me when I call, O Elohim of my righteousness, you have enlarged me when I was in distress, have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. O you sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? How long will you love emptiness, and seek after falsehood? Selah. But know that Yahweh has set apart him that is holy for himself, Yahweh will hear when I call to him. Tremble you, and do not sin, say you, thus, in your heart on your bed, and be you silent. Selah. Slaughter the sacrifice of righteousness, and put your trust in Yahweh. There are many that say, Who will show us any good? Yahweh, lift up the light of your countenance upon us. You have put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. I will both lay down in peace and sleep, because you Yahweh, isolate me to dwell in security. Give ear to my words, O Yahweh, consider my meditation. Attend to the voice of my cry, my King and my Elohim, because to you I will pray. My voice will you hear at sunrise, O Yahweh, in the morning I will direct my prayer to you and will look up. Because you are not an Elohim, that has pleasure in wickedness, neither will evil dwell with you. The foolish will not stand in your sight, you hate all workers of trouble. You will destroy them that speak falsehood, Yahweh will abhor the bloody and deceitful person. But as for me, I will come into your house in the multitude of your mercy, and in your fear I will worship toward your holy temple. O Yahweh, lead me in your righteousness, because of those observing me, make straight before me your way, because there is no faithfulness in their mouth, their inward part is engulfing ruin, their throat is an open grave, they plunder with their tongue. Destroy them, O Elohim, let them fall by their own counsels, cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against you. But let all those that put their trust in you rejoice, let them ever shout for joy, because you overshadow them, let them also that love your name be joyful in you. Because you, Yahweh, will bless the righteous, with favor will you surround him as with a shield. O Yahweh, correct me not in your anger, neither discipline me in your hot displeasure. Have mercy on me, O Yahweh, because I am weak, O Yahweh, heal me, for my bones are terrified. My life is also exceedingly terrified, but you, O Yahweh, till when? Return, O Yahweh, deliver my life, O save me for your mercy's sake. Because in death there is no memory of you, in Sheol who will give you thanks? I am weary with my groaning, all the night I make my bed to swim, I water my bed with my tears. My eye is consumed because of grief, it weakens in age because of all my enemies. Depart from me all you workers of trouble, because YHWH has heard the voice of my weeping. YHWH has heard my supplication, YHWH will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and exceedingly terrified, let them be turned back and be put to shame in a moment. O YHWH Elohim, in you do I put my trust, save me from all them that persecute me, and deliver me, unless they tear me like a lion, tearing it in pieces while there is none to deliver. O YHWH Elohim, if I have done this, if there is injustice in my hands, if I have done my well-wisher bad, and draw my adversary without cause, let the enemy persecute me, and take my life, yes, let him tread down my life upon the ground and lay my honor in the dust. Selah. Arise O YHWH in your anger, lift up yourself because of the rage of my enemies, and awake for me to the judgment that you have commanded. So will the congregation of the people surround you all around, for their sakes therefore come back to the elevated place. YHWH will judge the people, judge me O YHWH, according to my righteousness, and according to my integrity that is in me. O let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the righteous, because the righteous Elohim examines the hearts and affections. My defense is of Elohim that saves the upright in heart. Elohim is a righteous judge, and he is not angry at all times. If he turn not, he will whet his sword, he has bent his bow, and made it ready. He has also prepared for him the instruments of death, he ordains his arrows against the persecutors. That man is a worker of trouble, the seed of perverseness has given birth to deceit. He made a pit, and excavated it, and has fallen into the ditch that he made. His mischief will return upon his own head, and his violent dealing will come down on his own hairy crown. I will praise YHWH according to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of YHWH Most High. O YHWH our Master, how excellent is your name in all the earth! Who has set your glory above the cosmos? Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings have you ordained strength because of your enemies, that you might still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider your universe, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have ordained, what is mortal man, that you are mindful of him? And the Son of Man, that you appoint him? Because you have made him a little lower than the angels, and have crowned him with glory and honor. You made him to have dominion over the works of your hands, you have put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, yes, and the animals of the field, the flying creatures of the sky and the fish of the sea, and whatever passes through the pathways of the seas. O YHWH our Master, how excellent is your name in all the earth! I will praise you O YHWH, with my whole heart, I will show forth all your marvelous works. I will be glad, and rejoice in you, I will sing praise to your name, O you Most High. When my enemies are turned back, they will fall and perish at your presence. Because you have maintained my right and my cause, you sit in the throne governing right. You have rebuked the nations, you have exterminated the wicked, and you have blotted out their name for the ages of ages. O you enemy, destructions are imminent for their completion, and you have uprooted cities. The memory of them has perished. But YHWH will endure for the ages, he has prepared his throne for judgment. And he will judge the world in righteousness, he will minister judgment to the people in equity. YHWH also will be a stronghold for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know your name will put their trust in you, for you, YHWH, have not forsaken them that inquire, through Urim Thummim, of you. Sing praises to YHWH that dwells in Zion, declare among the people his practices. For the one who avenges blood remembers them, he does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Have mercy on me O YHWH, consider my trouble from them that hate me, you that lift me up from the gates of death, that I may show forth all your praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion, I will rejoice in your salvation. The nations are sunk down in the pit that they made, in the trap that they concealed is their own foot snared. YHWH is known by the judgment that he executes, the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion, Meditation. Selah. The wicked are led away to Sheol, and all the nations that forget Elohim. Because the needy will not continually be forgotten, the expectation of the poor will not perish for the ages. Arise O YHWH, let not man prevail, let the nations be judged in your sight. Put them in terror O YHWH, that the nations may know themselves to be but mortal mankind. Selah. Why stand afar off O YHWH? Why hide yourself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Because the wicked boasts of his heart's desire, and blesses those who gain by unrighteous violence, who YHWH abhors. The wicked, through the exaltation of his anger, will not inquire, Elohim is not in all his purposes. His ways are always grievous, your judgments are far above, out of his sight, as for all his enemies, he puffs at them. He has said in his heart, I will not be moved, because I will never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud, under his tongue is mischief and trouble. He sits in the ambush places of the villages, in the secret places does he murder the innocent, his eyes are lurking against the poor. He lies in wait secretly as a lion in his den, he lies in wait to catch the poor, he does catch the poor, when he draws him into his net. He is bruised, he bows down, fallen by his mighty ones has the afflicted. He has said in his heart, Elohim has forgotten, he hides his face, he will never see it. Arise O YHWH, O Elohim, lift up your hand, forget not the poor. Why does the wicked spurn Elohim? He has said in his heart, you will not require it. You have seen it, because you regard mischief and vexation, to produce it with your hands, the poor commits himself to you, you are the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked and the bad ones, seek out his wickedness until you find none. YHWH is king for the ages of ages, the nations are perished out of his land. YHWH, you have heard the desire of the poor, you will prepare their heart, you will cause your ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the land may no more oppress. In YHWH I put my trust, how say to me, flee as a bird to your mountain. For lo, the wicked tread a bow, they have prepared their arrow on the string, to shoot in darkness at the upright in heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? YHWH is in his holy temple, YHWH's throne is in the cosmos, his eyes behold, his eyelids examine the children of mankind. YHWH examines the righteous, but the wicked and him that loves violence he hates. Upon the wicked he will rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest, this will be the portion of their cup. Because the righteous YHWH loves righteousness, his countenance does behold the upright. To the chief musician. On the octave. Help YHWH, for the holy man comes to an end, for the faithful disappear from among the children of men. They speak falsehood everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips and with a double heart do they speak. YHWH will cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaks proud things, who have said, with our tongue we will prevail, our lips are our own, who is master over us. For the ruin of the poor, for the groaning of the needy, now I will arise says YHWH, I will put in safety him that breathes on him. The words of YHWH are pure words, as silver smelted in a furnace of earth, words, purified, refined, 7 times. You will observe them, O YHWH, you will preserve them from this generation for the ages. The wicked walk all around, when worthless men are exalted. How long will you ignore me O YHWH? Continually? How long will you hide your face from me? How long will I take counsel in myself, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and hear me, O YHWH Elohim, lighten my eyes unless I sleep unto death, unless my enemy says, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am shaken. But I have trusted in your mercy, my heart will rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to YHWH, because he has dealt bountifully with me. The foolish have said in their heart there is no Elohim. They are corrupt, they have done abominable practices, and there are none that do good. YHWH looked down from the cosmos upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand, and seek Elohim. They are all gone, aside, they are altogether become filthy, there is none that does good, no, not one. Have all the workers of trouble no knowledge? Who devour my people like they eat bread, and call not upon YHWH. There they have fear to fear, for Elohim is in the generation of the righteous. You have shamed the counsel of the poor but YHWH is their refuge. Oh that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. When YHWH brings back the captivity of his people, Jacob will rejoice and Israel will be glad. YHWH, who will abide in your tabernacle? Who will dwell in your holy hill? He that walks complete and works righteousness, and speaks the truth in his heart. He that does not slander with his tongue, nor does bad to his neighbor, nor takes up a taunt against his neighbor. In whose eyes a despised person is held in contempt, but he honors them that fear YHWH. He is adjured to suffer bad and changes not. He that does not lend his money out at interest, nor takes reward against the innocent. He that does these things will never be shaken. Guard me O Elohim, for in you I flee for protection. You have said to YHWH, you are my Adonai, my goodness mounts not unto you, but to the holy that are in the land, and to the majestic, in whom is all my delight. Their sorrows will be multiplied that hasten after different ones, their drink offerings of blood I will not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. YHWH is the portion of my share and of my cup, you keep my lot. The territory is offered to me in pleasant places, yes, I have a beautiful heritage. I will bless YHWH who has given me counsel, my affections also instruct me in the night. I have set YHWH always before me, because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory exults, my flesh also will tabernacle in security. For you will not leave me in Sheol, neither will you suffer your Holy One to see decay. You will show me the path of life, in your presence is fullness of joy, at your right hand there are pleasures, singing, unto the end. Hear justice O YHWH, attend unto my cry, give ear to my prayer, that goes not out of treacherous lips. Let my sentence come forth from your presence, let your eyes behold the things that are level. You have examined my heart, you have visited me in the night, you have refined me, you find nothing, my thoughts pass not over my mouth. Concerning the works of men, by the word of your lips I have guarded myself from the paths of the violent one. Hold up my goings in your paths so that my footsteps slip not. I have called upon you, because you will hear me O Elohim, incline your ear to me and hear my speech. Show your marvelous goodness, O you that save by your right hand them that put their trust in you from those that rise up against them. Guard me as the pupil of the eye, conceal me under the shadow of your wings, from the wicked that assail me, from my deadly enemies who encircle me. They are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly. They have now encircled us in our steps, they have set their eyes bowing down to the ground, like a lion that is greedy of its prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in hiding places. Arise O YHWH, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver me from the wicked by your sword, from men that are your hand, O YHWH, from men of the world that have their portion in this life, and whose belly you fill with your hidden treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their children. As for me, I will behold your face in righteousness, I will be satisfied when I am resurrected with your likeness, I will love you, O YHWH my strength. YHWH is my rock, and my fortress, and my deliverer, my Elohim, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler, and the horn of my salvation and my high place. I will call upon YHWH, who is worthy to be praised, so I will be delivered from my enemies. The pains of dying surround me, and the wadi, stream bed, of worthless men terrified me. The sorrows of Sheol surround me, the snares of death confront me. In my distress I called on YHWH, and cried to my Elohim, he heard my voice out of his temple and my cry came before him, even to his ears. Then the earth shook and quaked, the foundations also of the hills quaked and were shaken, because he was angry. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and supernatural fire out of his mouth devoured, coals of fire were kindled by it. He spread out the cosmos also and descended, and dark clouds were under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did hover, yes, he did fly upon the edge of the wind. He made darkness his covering, his pavilion around him was dark moisture and the cloud mass of the cloud. At the brightness that was before him his cloud mass passed over, hail and coals of fire. YHWH also thundered in the cosmic skies, and the highest gave his voice, hail and coals of fire. Yes, he sent out his arrows, and scattered them, and he shot out lightning flashes, and discomfited them. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were uncovered at your reproof, O YHWH, at the breathing of the breath of your nostrils. He sent from the elevated place, he took me, he drew me out of many dangers. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them that hated me, because they were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but YHWH was my staff. He brought me forth also into an expanse, he removed me because he delighted in me. YHWH rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands has he returned me. Because I have observed the ways of YHWH, and have not wickedly departed from my Elohim. Because all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also complete before him, and I kept myself from my depravity. Therefore has YHWH returned me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. With the merciful you will show yourself merciful, with a complete man you will show yourself complete, with the pure you will show yourself pure, and with the perverted you will show yourself to wrestle. Because you will liberate the poor people, but will bring down exalted looks. For you will light my lamp, YHWH Elohim will enlighten my darkness. Because by you I have run through a troop, and by my Elohim have I leapt over a wall. As for Elohim, his way is complete, the word of YHWH is refined, he is a buckler to all those that trust in him. For who is Elohim except YHWH? Or who is a rock except our Elohim? It is Elohim that clothes me with strength, and consecrates my way as complete. He sets my feet like the deer, and stands me upon the high place. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by my arms. And you give to me the shield of your salvation, and your right hand does support me, and your lowliness makes me great. You have enlarged my steps under me so that my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them, neither did I turn back until they were consumed. I have wounded them that they were not able to rise, they are fallen under my feet. Because you have clothed me with strength to the battle, you have subdued under me those that rose up against me. You have also given me the necks of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them, even to YHWH, but he answered them not. Then I did beat them small as the dust before the wind, I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. You have delivered me from the controversies of the people, and you have made me the head of the nations. A people whom I have not known will serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they will obey me, the foreigners will submit themselves to me. The foreigners will kneel down, and will shake from their borders. YHWH exists, and blessed is my rock, and let the Elohim of my salvation be exalted. It is Elohim that consecrates me and commands the people under me. He delivers me from my enemies, yes, you lift me up above those that rise up against me, you have delivered me from the man of violence. Therefore I will give thanks to you, O YHWH, among the nations, and sing praises, making music, to your name. Great deliverance gives he to his king, and shows mercy to his anointed, to David, and to his seed for the ages. The cosmos recounts the glory of Elohim, and the expanse makes known his enterprise. Day unto day emits speech, and night unto night declares knowledge. There is no speech nor language, where their voice is not heard. Their cord is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them had he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the cosmos, and his circuit to the ends of it, and there is nothing hidden from the heat of the sun. The Torah of YHWH is complete to return the person, the testimony of YHWH is faithful, making wise the simple. The statutes of YHWH are right, rejoicing the heart, the commandment of YHWH is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of YHWH is clean, enduring perpetually, the judgments of YHWH are truth and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yes, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover by them is your slave warned, and in observing them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Clear me from concealed sins. Keep back your slave also from presumptuous sins, let them not have dominion over me, then I will be complete, and I will be innocent from the great rebellion. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O YHWH, my strength and my kinsman redeemer. YHWH does answer you in the day of trouble, the name of the Elohim of Jacob defend you. He does send your help from the sanctuary, and from Zion does support you. Remember all your offerings and accept your whole burnt offerings, Selah. Grant you according to your own heart, and fulfill all your counsel. We will rejoice in your salvation, and in the name of our Elohim we will set up our banners. YHWH fulfill all your petitions. Now I know that YHWH saves his anointed, he will hear him from his holy abode of the stars with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, and some in horses, but we will remember the name of YHWH Elohim. They are sunken down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save YHWH, let the King hear us when we call. The King will joy in your strength, O YHWH, and in your salvation how greatly will he rejoice. You have given him his heart's desire, and have not withheld the request of his lips. Selah. Because you put before him blessings of goodness, you set on his head a crown of fine gold. Life he has asked from you, you have given to him, length of days for the ages of ages. His glory is great in your salvation, honor and majesty have you laid upon him. Because you have made him most blessed for future time, you have made him exceedingly glad with your countenance. For the King trusts in YHWH, and through the mercy of the Most High he will not be shaken. Your hand will find out all your enemies, your right hand will find out those that hate you. You will make them as a fiery oven in the time of your presence, YHWH will swallow them up in his anger, and the fire will devour them. Their fruit will you destroy from the land, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended bad against you, they invented a plot that they are not able to perform. Therefore you will make them turn their back, when you will make ready your arrows upon your strings against the face of them. Be exalted YHWH in your own strength, so will we sing and praise your power. My Elohim, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me, and from the words of my distress cry? O my Elohim, I cry in the daytime but you hear not, and in the night season, and am not silent. But you are holy, O you that inhabit the praises of Israel. Our forefathers trusted in you, they trusted and you did deliver them. They cried to you and were delivered, they trusted in you and were not confounded. But I am a worm and no man, a taunt of men, and despised of the people. All they that see me laugh me to scorn, they shoot out the lip, they shake the head saying, he trusted on YHWH that he would deliver him, let him deliver him, seeing he delighted in him. But you are he that took me out of the womb, you did make me hope when I was upon my mother's breasts. I was cast upon you from the womb, you are my Elohim from my mother's womb. Be not far from me, because trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many young bulls have encircled me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me all around. They gaped upon me with their mouths as a tearing and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint, my heart is like wax, it is melted in the middle of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaves to my jaws, and you have brought me into the dust of death. Because dogs have surrounded me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me, they pierced my hands and my feet. I may count all my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them, and cast lots upon my clothing. But be not far from me, O YHWH, O my strength, quickly act to help me. Deliver me from the sword, my life from the power of the dogs. Save me, from the lion's mouth, because you have heard me from the horns of the wild bulls. I will declare your name to my brethren, in the middle of the congregation will I praise you. You that fear YHWH, praise him, all you the seed of Jacob, glorify him, and fear him, all you the descendants of Israel. For he has not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither has he hidden his face from him, but when he cried to him he heard. My praise will be of you in the great congregation, I will pay my vows before them that fear him. The meek will eat and be satisfied, they will praise YHWH that will inquire of him, your heart will live for the ages. All the ends of the world will remember and turn to YHWH, and all the clans of the nations will worship before you. Because the kingdom is YHWH's, and he is the governor among the nations. All they that are fat upon earth will eat and worship, all they that go down to the dust will bow before him, and none can keep alive his own life. A seed will serve him, it will be accounted to Adonai for a generation. They will come and will declare his righteousness to a people that will be born, that he has done this. YHWH is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in grassland pastures, he leads me to the resting place of waters. He refreshes my life, he leads me in the track of righteousness for his name's glory. Yes, though I walk through the steep valley of the death shadow, I will fear no badness, because you are with me, your rod and your staff they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies, you anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of YHWH for length of days. The earth is YHWH's, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that live on it. For he has founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who will ascend into the mountain of YHWH? Or who will stand in his holy place? He that has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not lifted up his life to falsehood, nor adjured deceitfully. He will receive the blessing from YHWH, and righteousness from the Elohim of his salvation. This is the generation of them that inquire of him, that seek your face, O Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O you stargates, and be lifted up you age-lasting doorways, and the King of glory will come in. Who is this King of glory? YHWH strong and mighty, YHWH mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you stargates, even lift them up, you age-lasting doorways, and the King of glory will come in. Who is this King of glory? YHWH of hosts, he is the King of glory. Selah. To you, O YHWH, do I lift up myself. O my Elohim, I trust in you, let me not be ashamed, let not my enemies triumph over me. Yes, let none that wait on you be put to shame, let them be put to shame that deal treacherously without cause. Show me your ways, O YHWH, teach me your paths. Lead me in your truth and teach me, because you are the Elohim of my salvation, on you do I wait all the day. Remember, O YHWH, your compassion and kindness, for they have been for the ages. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions, according to your kindness, remember me for your goodness' sake, O YHWH. Good and upright is YHWH, therefore he will shoot arrows at the sinful in their path. but the poor he will lead in judgment, and the poor he will teach his path. All the paths of YHWH are goodness and truth to such as observe his covenant and his testimonies. For your name's sake, O YHWH, pardon my depravity, for it is great. What man is he that fears YHWH? Him will he direct in the path that he will choose. His life will dwell at ease, and his seed will inherit the earth. The counsel of YHWH is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. My eyes are continually toward YHWH, because he will pluck my feet out of the net. Turn you to me and have mercy upon me, for I am solitary and poor. The troubles of my heart are enlarged, O bring me out of my distresses. Look upon my affliction and my trouble, and take away all my sins. Consider my enemies, because they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. O guard my life and deliver me, let me not be ashamed, because I put my trust in you. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on you. Ransom Israel, O Elohim, out of all his troubles. Judge me, O YHWH, for I have walked in my integrity, I have trusted also in YHWH, I will not slip. Examine me, O YHWH, and prove me, refine my affections and my heart. Because your kindness is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with the counterfeiters. I have hated the company of the bad, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocence, so will I compass your altar, O YHWH, to sound with a voice of confession, and to recount all your wonders. YHWH, I have loved the habitation of your house, and the standing place where your honor tabernacles. Gather not my life with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in my integrity, ransom me and be gracious to me. My foot stands in a level place, in the choir I will bless YHWH. YHWH is my light and my salvation, whom will I fear? YHWH is the strength of my life, of whom will I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though an army should encamp against me, my heart will not fear, though war should rise against me, in this I will be confident. One thing I have inquired, by Thummim, of YHWH, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of YHWH all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of YHWH, and to inquire in his temple. Because in the time of trouble he will hide me in his covert, in the covering of his tabernacle will he hide me, he will set me up upon a rock. And now will my head be lifted up above my enemies all around me, therefore I will sacrifice in his tabernacle sacrifices of shouts of joy, I will sing, yes, I will sing praises to YHWH. Hear, O YHWH, when I cry with my voice, have mercy also on me, and answer me. Seek my presence, and my heart replied to you, your presence YHWH will I seek. Hide not your presence from me, put not your slave away in anger, you have been my help, leave me not, neither forsake me, O Elohim of my salvation. When my dad and my mother forsake me, then YHWH will gather me up. Direct me your path, O YHWH, and lead me in a plain path, because of my enemies. Deliver me not over to the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I would have fainted, unless I had believed to see the goodness of YHWH in the land of the living. Wait on YHWH, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, wait I say, on YHWH. To you I will cry, O YHWH my rock, be not silent to me, unless, if you are silent to me, I become like them that descend into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplications, when I cry to you, when I lift up my hands toward your holy oracle, Thummim. Draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of trouble, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Pay them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their practices, give them after the work of their hands, render to them their dealing. Because they regard not the works of YHWH, nor the undertaking of his hands, he will destroy them, and not establish them. Blessed is YHWH, because he has heard the voice of my supplications. YHWH is my strength and my shield, my heart trusted in him, and I am helped, therefore my heart greatly rejoices, and with my song I will praise him. YHWH is their strength, and he is the saving strength of his anointed. Save your people and bless your inheritance, feed them also and lift them up for the ages. Give to YHWH, O you mighty, give to YHWH glory and strength. Give to YHWH the glory due unto his name, worship YHWH in the beauty of holiness. The voice of YHWH is upon the waters, the Elohim of glory thunders, YHWH is upon great waters. The voice of YHWH is powerful, the voice of YHWH is full of majesty. The voice of YHWH breaks the cedars, yes, YHWH breaks the cedars of Lebanon. He makes them also to skip like a calf, Lebanon and Sirion like a young buffalo. The voice of YHWH divides the flames of supernatural fire. The voice of YHWH shakes the wilderness, YHWH shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of YHWH makes the doe to calve, and strips the forests, and in his temple does everyone speak of his glory. YHWH sits upon the flood, yes, YHWH sits as king for the ages. YHWH will give strength to his people, YHWH will bless his people with peace. I will extol you, O YHWH, because you have lifted me up, and have not made my foes to rejoice over me. O YHWH Elohim, I cried to you and you have healed me. O YHWH, you have brought up my life from Sheol, you have sustained me alive so that I should not go down to the pit. Sing to YHWH, O you saints of his, and give thanks at the memorial of his holiness. Because his anger is but for a moment, in his favor is life, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes at sunrise. And in my prosperity I said, I will never be shaken. O YHWH, in your good pleasure, you have caused strength to remain for my mount, you have hidden your face, I have been troubled. I cried to you, O YHWH, and to YHWH I implored his favor. What profit is there in my blood, when I go down to the pit? Will the dust praise you? Will it declare your truth? Hear, O YHWH, and show favor to me, YHWH, be my support. You have turned for me my wailing into dancing, you have put off my sackcloth, and clothed me with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praise to you, and not be silent. O YHWH Elohim, I will give thanks to you for the ages. In you, O YHWH, do I flee for protection, let me never be ashamed and let me escape into your righteousness. Bow down your ear to me, deliver me speedily, be my rock of refuge, for a house of stronghold to deliver me. Because you are my rock and my stronghold, therefore for your name's sake lead me, and guide me. Lead me out of the net that they have laid secretly for me, because you are my strength. Into your hand I commit my breath, you have ransomed me, O YHWH Elohim of truth. I have hated them that observe false vanities, but I trust in YHWH. I will be glad and rejoice in your kindness, because you have considered my poverty, you have known my life in dire straits, and have not shut me up into the hand of the enemy, you have set my feet in an expanse. Show favor to me, O YHWH, because I am in trouble, my eye is consumed with grief, yes, my emotions and my belly, because my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing, my strength fails because of my depravity and my bones waste away. Among all my adversaries I have been a taunt, and to my neighbors exceedingly, and a fear to my acquaintances, those seeing me outside, fled from me. I am withered as a dead man out of mind, I am like a broken vessel. Because I have heard the slander of many, fear was on every side, while they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. But I trusted in you, O YHWH, I said, you are my Elohim. In your hand are my times, deliver me from the hand of my enemies, and from my pursuers. Make your presence to shine upon your slave, save me in your goodness. Let me not be ashamed, O YHWH, because I have called on you. Let the wicked be ashamed and let them be silenced in Sheol. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. How great your goodness that you have laid up for them that fear you, that you have made for them that trust in you before the sons of men. You will hide them in the covering of your presence from the pride of man, you will hide them in a covert from the strife of tongues. Blessed is YHWH, because he has shown me extraordinary kindness in a besieged city. Because I said in my haste, I am cut off from before your eyes, nevertheless you heard the voice of my supplications when I cried to you. O love YHWH all you his saints, because YHWH guards the faithful, and abundantly rewards the proud doer. Be of good courage and he will strengthen your heart, all you that hope in YHWH. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Happy is the man to whom YHWH does not impute depravity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I kept silent, my bones waxed old through my roaring all the day long. Because day and night your hand was heavy upon me, my moisture is turned into the drought of summer. Selah. I acknowledged my sin to you, and my depravity I have not hidden. I said, I will confess my transgressions to YHWH, and you forgave the depravity of my sin. Selah. For this will everyone that is faithful pray to you in a time when you may be found, surely in the floods of great waters they will not reach him. You are my covering, you will preserve me from trouble, You will surround me about with songs of escape. Selah. I will teach you and direct you in the way that you will go, I will guide you with my eye. Be not as the horse or as the mule that have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, unless they come near to you. Many sorrows will be to the wicked, but he that trusts in YHWH, goodness will compass him all around. Be glad in YHWH, and rejoice you righteous, and shout for joy all you that are upright in heart. Rejoice in YHWH, O you righteous, for songs are beautiful for the upright. Praise YHWH with lyre, sing to him with the bagpipes, skin bag, and an instrument of 10 strings. Sing to him a new song, play a skillful sound. Because the word of YHWH is right, and all his works are done in fidelity. He loves righteousness and judgment, the land is full of the goodness of YHWH. By the word of YHWH were the cosmos fashioned, and all the stars, hosts, of them by the breath of his mouth. He collects the waters of the sea together as an heap, he lays up the deep places in storehouses. Let all the earth fear YHWH, let all the inhabitants of the world sojourn in awe of him. Because he spoke, and it was, he commanded and it stood fast. YHWH crushes the purposes of the nations to nothing, he holds back the inventions of the people and restrains. The counsel of YHWH stands for the ages, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose Elohim is YHWH, and the people who he has chosen for his own inheritance. YHWH looks from the cosmos, he inspects all the sons of men. From the established place of his habitation he gazes upon all the inhabitants of the land. He fashions their hearts alike, he considers all their undertakings. The king is not saved by the greatness of an army, a strong man is not rescued by great strength. A false thing is the horse for safety, and by the abundance of his strength he does not deliver. Behold, the eye of YHWH is upon them that fear him, upon them that wait for his goodness, to deliver their lives from death and to sustain them alive in famine. Our lives wait for YHWH, he is our help and our shield. Because our heart will rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let your goodness, O YHWH, be upon us, according as we hope in you. I will bless YHWH at all times, his song will continually be on my lips. My life will shine in YHWH, the poor will hear and rejoice. O magnify YHWH with me, and let us exalt his name together. I inquired, by Thummim, to YHWH, and he heard me and delivered me from all my terrors. They looked to him and were radiant, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried and YHWH heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of YHWH encamps around them that fear him, and delivers them. O taste and see that YHWH is good, happy is the man that seeks refuge in him. O fear YHWH, you his saints, because there is no poverty to them that fear him. The villages will be in want and go hungry, but they that inquire, by Thummim, of YHWH will not lack any good thing. Come you children, listen to me, I will teach you the fear of YHWH. What man desires living and loves days, so that he may see good? Guard your tongue from bad and your lips from speaking treachery. Depart from bad and do good, seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of YHWH are upon the righteous and his ears are open to their cry. The face of YHWH is against them that do bad, to cut off the memory of them from the land. Cries for help YHWH hears, and rescues them out of all their troubles. YHWH is near to them that are of a broken heart, and saves such as are of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but YHWH delivers him out of them all. He guards all his bones, not one of them is broken. Badness will kill the wicked, and they that hate the righteous will be incriminated. YHWH ransoms the lives of his slaves, and none of them that trust in him will be incriminated. Contend, O YHWH, with them that are my adversaries, fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for my help. Draw out also the spear and deliver up them that persecute me, say to me, I am your salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my life, let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my calamity. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of YHWH chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of YHWH pursue them. For without cause have they concealed for me their net in a pit, so that without cause they have searched out for my life. There shall reach him a ruin he could not know, and his own net that he concealed catches him, for ruin he falls into it. But my life will be joyful in YHWH, it will rejoice in his salvation. All my bones will say, YHWH, who is like unto you, that delivers the poor from him that is too strong for him, yes, the poor and the needy from him that plunders him. False witnesses did rise up, they laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me bad for good to the bereavement of my life. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth, I humbled myself with fasting, and my prayer returned into my own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother, I bowed down heavily, as one that mourns for his mother. But in my stumbling they rejoiced and gathered themselves together, yes, the stricken gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not, they did tear me and cease not, with profane ones, mockers in feasts, gnashing against me their teeth. Adonai, how long will you look on? Rescue me from their destruction, my solitary self from the young lions. I will give you thanks in the great company, I will praise you among numerous peoples. Let not them that are my enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. Because they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Yes, they opened their mouth wide against me and said, Aha, aha, our eye has seen it. This you have seen, O YHWH, keep not silent, O Adonai, be not far from me. Stir up yourself and awake to my judgment, even to my cause, my Elohim and my Adonai. Judge me, O YHWH Elohim, according to your righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, Ah, so would we have it, let them not say, We have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at my calamity, let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them give a ringing cry and rejoice, that favor my righteous cause, yes, let them say continually, Let YHWH be magnified that has pleasure in the welfare of his slave. And my tongue will speak of your righteousness and of your praise all the day long. The rebellion of the wicked is affirming within my heart that there is no fear of Elohim before their eyes. For they flatter themselves in their own eyes, until their depravity is found to be hateful. The words of their mouth are trouble and deceit, they have left off being wise and to do good. He invents trouble upon his bed, he sets himself in a way that is not good, he rejects not the bad. Your goodness, O YHWH, is in the cosmos, and your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the great mountains, your judgments are a great abyss, O YHWH, you preserve man and animal. How excellent is your goodness, O Elohim! Therefore, the sons of men, under the shadow of thy wings, seek refuge, they will be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of your house, and you will make them drink of the river of your pleasures. Because with you is the fountain of life, in your light will we see light. O continue your goodness to them that know you, and your righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of trouble fallen, they are cast down and will not be able to rise. Because of badness, neither be envious against the workers of injustice. For they will soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in YHWH and do good, so will you settle down in the land, and in stableness you will be fed. Delight yourself also in YHWH, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to YHWH, trust also in him and he will bring it to pass. And he will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your judgment as the noonday. Be silent for YHWH, and stay yourself for him. Do not fret because of him who is making prosperous his way, because of a man doing wicked devices. Cease from anger and forsake wrath, fret not yourself in any way to do evil. Because evildoers will be cut off, but those that wait upon YHWH, they will inherit the land. Because still a little while and the wicked will not exist, yes, you will diligently consider their standing place, and it will not exist. But the poor will inherit the land, and will delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plots against the just, and grinds upon him with his teeth. Adonai will laugh at him, because he sees that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, and to kill such as be of upright manners. Their sword will enter into their own heart and their bows will be broken. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. Because the arms of the wicked will be broken, but YHWH upholds the righteous. YHWH knows the days of the upright, and their inheritance will be for the days. They will not be ashamed in the bad times, and in the days of famine they will be satisfied. But the wicked will perish and the enemies of YHWH will be as the fat of lambs, they will consume into smoke, and will consume away. The wicked borrows and does not repay, but the righteous shows favor and gives. Because blessed are they that will inherit the earth, and cursed are them that will be cut off. The steps of a man are ordered by YHWH, and he delights in his way. Though he falls, he will not be utterly cast down, because YHWH supports him with his hand. I have been young and now am old, Still I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his offspring seeking food. He is gracious and lends, and his offspring is blessed. Turn aside from bad and do good, and settle down for the ages. Because YHWH loves judgment, and forsakes not his saints, they are preserved for the ages, but the offspring of the wicked will be cut off. The righteous will inherit the land and settle there in the future. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom and his tongue talks of judgment. The Torah of Elohim is in his heart, none of his steps will slide. The wicked watches the righteous and seeks to kill him. YHWH will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on YHWH and observe his way, and he will exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off you will see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green tree growing in its own soil. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yes, I sought him but he could not be found. Protect the complete and inspect the upright, because the end of that man is peace. But the rebellious will be destroyed together, the end of the wicked will be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of YHWH, he is their place of safety in the time of trouble. And YHWH will help them, and deliver them, he will deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him. O YHWH, correct me not in your anger, neither discipline me in your hot rage. Because your arrows stick fast in me and your hand presses me down. There is no soundness in my flesh because of your anger, neither is there any tranquility in my bones because of my sin. Because my depravities are gone over my head, as a heavy burden they are too weighty for me. My wounds stink and are festering because of my folly. I am troubled, I am bowed down greatly, I go mourning all the day long. Because my loins are filled with a loathsome depravity, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am feeble and very broken, I have cried by reason of the groaning of my heart. Adonai, all my desire is before you, and my groaning is not hidden from you. My heart pants, my strength fails me, as for the light of my eyes, it also is gone from me. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my wound, and my kinsmen stand afar off. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things, and imagine deceits all the day long. But I, as a deaf man heard not, and I was as a dumb man that opened not his mouth. So I was as a man that hears not, and in whose mouth are no arguments. Because in you, O YHWH, do I hope, you will hear, O Adonai Elohim. Because I said, hear me, unless they should rejoice over me when my foot slips, and magnify themselves against me. Because I am ready to stumble and my sorrow is continually before me. Because I will declare my depravity, I will be sorry for my sin. But my enemies are lively and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render bad for good are my adversaries, because I follow the thing that is good. Forsake me not, O YHWH, O my Elohim, be not far from me. Hurry to help me, O Adonai my salvation. I said, I will take heed to my ways so that I sin not with my tongue, I will guard my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence, I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me, while I was musing the fire burned, then I spoke with my tongue, YHWH, make me to know my end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, you have made my days as a span, and my age is as nothing before you, certainly every man at his best state is in totality a vapor. Selah. Certainly every man walks in emptiness, surely they are disquieted in breath, he piles up grain and silver and knows not who will gather them. And now Adonai, what do I wait for? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all my transgressions, make me not the taunt of the foolish. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because you did it. Remove your stroke away from me, I am consumed by the blow of your hand. When you with rebukes do correct man of depravity, you make his beauty to consume away like a moth, certainly everyone is as a vapor. Selah. Hear my prayer, O YHWH, and give ear to my cry, hold not your silence at my tears, because I am a sojourner with you and a foreigner, as all my forefathers were. O spare me so that I may recover strength, before I go away and exist no more. I waited patiently for YHWH, and he inclined to me and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my steps. And he has put a new song in my mouth, even praise to our Elohim. Many will see it and fear, and will trust in YHWH. Happy is that man that makes YHWH his trust, and respects not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Many, O YHWH Elohim, are your wonderful works that you have done, and your thoughts that are toward us, they cannot be reckoned up in order to you. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, my ears have you opened, whole burnt offering and sin offering you have not required. Then I said, Lo, I come, in the writing of the scroll it is written of me, I delight to do your will, O my Elohim, yes, your law is within my inward parts. I have announced righteousness in the great company, lo, I have not refrained my lips, O YHWH you know. I have not hid your righteousness within my heart, I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your goodness and your truth from the great company. Withhold not your tender compassion from me, O YHWH, let your goodness and your truth continually guard me. Because innumerable badness has compassed me all around, my depravities have taken hold of me, so that I am not able to look up, they are more than the hairs of my head, therefore my heart apostatizes. Be pleased, O YHWH, to deliver me, O YHWH, hurry to help me. Let them be ashamed and confounded together that seek after my life to destroy it. Let them be driven backward and put to shame that wish me bad. Let them be appalled for a reward of their shame that say to me, Aha, aha. Let all those that seek you rejoice and be glad in you, let such as love your salvation say continually, YHWH be magnified. But I am poor and needy, still Adonai thinks upon me, you are my help and my deliverer, make no delaying, O my Elohim. Blessed is he that considers the poor, YHWH will deliver him in time of trouble. YHWH will guard him and sustain him alive, and he will be advanced upon the land, and you will not deliver him to the appetites of his enemies. YHWH will sustain him on a bed of sickness, all his bed you have transformed in his sickness. I said, YHWH, show favor to me, heal me because I have sinned against you. My enemies speak bad of me, when will he die and his name perishes? And if he comes to see me, he speaks falsehoods, his heart gathers trouble to itself, when he goes abroad he speaks from it. All that hate me whisper together against me do they devise my calamity. A base fellow cleaves fast to him, and now that he lies down he will rise up no more. Yes, my own familiar friend in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, has lifted up his heel against me. But you, O YHWH, show favor to me and raise me up so that I may repay them. By this I know that you favor me, because my enemy does not triumph over me. And as for me, you uphold me in my integrity, and set me before your presence for the ages. Blessed is YHWH Elohim of Israel from the ages to the ages. Amen, and Amen. As the deer pants after the brooks of water, so pants my mind after you, O Elohim. My mind thirsts for Elohim, for the living Elohim. When will I come and appear before Elohim? My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me daily, where is your Elohim? When I remember these things, I pour out myself inside, because I had gone with a multitude, I went with them to the house of Elohim, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that observed festival. Why are you cast down, O my mind? And why are you disquieted in me? Hope you in Elohim, because I will still praise him for the prosperity of his presence. O my Elohim, my mind is cast down within me, therefore I will remember you from the land of Jordan, and of the Hermonites, from the hill Mizar. Deep seas cry out to the deep places at the sound of your waterspouts, all your breakers and waves are gone over me. Still YHWH will command his goodness in the daytime, and in the night his song will be with me, and my prayer to the living Elohim. I will say to Elohim my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones, my enemies reproach me, while they say daily to me, where is your Elohim? Why are you cast down, O my mind? And why are you disquieted within me? Hope you in Elohim, because I will still praise him, who is the health of my countenance, and my Elohim. Judge me, O Elohim, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation, O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. Because you are the Elohim of my strength, why do you cast me off? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? O send out your light and your truth, let them lead me, let them bring me to your holy mountain, and to your tabernacle. Then I will go to the altar of Elohim, to Elohim my exceeding joy, yes, upon the lyre I will praise you, O Elohim my Elohim. Why are you cast down, O my mind? And why are you disquieted within me? Hope in Elohim, because I will yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance, and my Elohim. We have heard with our ears, O Elohim, our forefathers have told us, what work you did in their days, in the ancient times. How you did drive out the nations with your hand, and planted them, how you did afflict the people, and cast them out. For, not by their sword possessed they the land, and their arm gave not salvation to them, but your right hand and your arm, and the light of your countenance, because you had accepted them. You are my king, O Elohim, command salvation for Jacob. Through you will we tread down our enemies, through your name will we gore them under that rise up against us. Because I will not trust in my bow, neither will my sword save me. But you have saved us from our enemies, and have put them to shame that hated us. In Elohim we boast all the day long, and praise your name for the ages. Selah. But you have cast off and put us to shame, and go not out with our armies. You make us to turn back from the enemy, and they that hate us plunder for themselves. You have given us like sheep for meat, and have scattered us among the nations. You sell your people, without wealth, and have not become great by their price. You make us a scorn to our neighbors, a taunt and a derision to them that are all around us. You make us a byword among the nations, a shaking of the head among the people. My shame is continually before me, the shame of my face has covered me, because the voice of him that taunts and blasphemes, by reason of the enemy and avenger. All this is come upon us, still we have not forgotten you, neither have we dealt falsely in your covenant. Our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from your way, though you have crushed us in the standing place of serpents, and covered us with the death shadow. If we have forgotten the name of our Elohim, or stretched out our hands to an alien Elohim, will not Elohim search this out? Because he knows the secrets of the heart. Yes, for your sake are we killed all the day long, we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Awake, why sleep, O Adonai? Arise, cast us not off unto the end. Why hide your face and forget our affliction and our oppression? Because our life is bowed down to the dust, our belly cleaves to the ground. Arise for our help, and ransom us for your goodness' sake. My heart is stirring in a good matter, I speak of the things that I have made touching the king, my tongue is the pen of a ready writer. You are fairer than the children of men, grace is poured into your lips, therefore Elohim has blessed you for the ages. Belt your sword on your thigh, O mighty, with your glory and majesty. And in your majesty ride prosperously because of truth and meekness and righteousness, and your right hand will teach you dreadful things. Your arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people fall under you. Your throne, O Elohim, is for the ages of the ages, and beyond, a scepter of equity, is the scepter of your kingdom. You love righteousness and hate wickedness, therefore Elohim, your Elohim, has anointed you with the oil of gladness above your associates. All your garments smell of myrrh and aloes, and cassia, out of the ivory palaces, whereby they have made you rejoice. King's daughters were among your honorable women, upon your right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. Listen, O daughter, and consider, incline your ear, forget also your own people, and your father's house, so will the king greatly desire your beauty, because he is your Adonai, and you worship him. And the daughter of Tyre will be there with a gift, even the rich among the people will appease your favor. The king's daughter is all glorious within, her clothing is of filigreed gold. She will be brought to the king in clothing of needlework, the virgins her companions that follow her will be brought to you. With gladness and rejoicing will they be brought, they will enter into the king's palace. Instead of your fathers or your sons, whom you may make princes in all the land. I will make your name to be remembered in all generations, therefore will the people praise you for the ages of ages. Elohim is our refuge and strength, a very secure help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth is altered, and though the mountains are carried into the middle of the sea, though the waters thereof rage and are foaming up, though the mountains shake with the swelling of the sea. Selah. There is a river, the streams there will make glad the city of Elohim, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. Elohim is in the middle of her, she will not be shaken, Elohim will help her at the sunrise. The nations raged, the kingdoms were shaken, he uttered his voice, the land liquefied. YHWH of hosts is with us, the Elohim of Jacob is our stronghold. Selah. Come, behold the works of YHWH, what a palment he has made in the earth. He makes wars to cease to the end of the earth, he breaks the bow, and cuts the spear into bits, he burns the wagons in the fire. Be still and know that I am Elohim, I will be exalted among the nations, I will be exalted in the land. YHWH of hosts is with us, the Elohim of Jacob is our stronghold. Selah. Oh, clap your hands, all you people, shout to Elohim with the voice of triumph. Because YHWH Most High is held in awe, he is a great king over all the earth. He will subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet. He will choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob whom he loved. Selah. Elohim is gone up with a shout, YHWH with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to Elohim, sing praises to our King, sing praises. Because Elohim is the King of all the earth, sing praises with understanding. Elohim reigns over the nations, Elohim sits upon the throne of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the Elohim of Abraham, for the shields of the earth belong to Elohim, he is greatly exalted. Great is YHWH, and greatly to be praised in the city of our Elohim, in the mountain of his holiness. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole land is Mount Zion, on the sides of the north, the city of the great king. Elohim is known in her palaces for a stronghold. For lo, the kings were assembled, they passed by together. They saw it and were dumbfounded, they were terrified and fled. Terror took hold of them there, and pain, as of a woman in labor. You break in pieces the ships of Tarshish with an east wind. As we have heard, so have we seen in the city of YHWH of hosts, in the city of our Elohim. Elohim will establish it for the ages. Selah. We have thought of your goodness, O Elohim, in the inner part of your temple. According to your name, O Elohim, so is your praise to the ends of the earth, your right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion rejoice, let the daughters of Judah be glad, because of your judgments. Walk about Zion and go all around her, count the towers on it. Mark well her bulwarks, consider her fortresses, that you may tell it to the generation following. For this Elohim is our Elohim for the ages of the ages, he will be our guide even unto death. Hear this, all you people, give ear, all you inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor, together. My mouth will speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart will be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable, I will open my dark saying upon the lyre. Why should I fear in the days of badness, when the depravity of my heels will compass me all around? They that trust in their wealth, and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means ransom his brother, nor give to Elohim a ransom for him, for the ransom of their lives are precious, and it has ceased, to the age, that he should still live unto the end and not see corruption. Because he sees that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is, that their houses will continue for the ages, and their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless man being in honor abides not, he is like the animals that perish. This their way is their folly, still their posterity approve their sayings. Selah. Like sheep they are laid in Sheol, death will feed on them, and the upright will have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty will consume in Sheol from their dwelling. But Elohim will ransom my life from the power of Sheol, because he will receive me. Selah. Be not afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased, because when he dies he will carry nothing away, his glory will not descend after him. Though while he lived he blessed his life, and people will praise you, when you do well for yourself. He will go to the generation of his forefathers, they will never see the light of day. Man that is in honor and understands not, is like the animals that perish. The mighty Elohim, even YHWH has spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun to its going down. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, Elohim has shined. Our Elohim will come and will not keep silent, a supernatural fire will devour before him, and it will be very storming all around him. He will call to the cosmos from above into the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together to me, those that have made a covenant with me by the sacrifices of righteousness. And the cosmos will declare his righteousness, because Elohim is judge himself. Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against you, I am Elohim, even your Elohim. Not for your sacrifices do I rebuke you, yes, your whole burnt offerings are before me continually. I will take no young bulls out of your stables, nor he-goats out of your folds. Because every animal of the forest is mine, including the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the flying creatures of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine and its fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of he-goats? Offer to Elohim thanksgiving, and pay your votive offering to the Most High, and call upon me in the day of trouble, I will deliver you, and you will glorify me. And to the wicked has Elohim said, What to you, to recount my statutes? That you lift up my covenant on your mouth? Seeing you hate instruction, and cast my words behind you. When you saw a thief, then you consent with him, and have been partaker with adulterers. You give your mouth to bad, and your tongue frames deceit. You sit and speak against your brother, you slander your own mother's son. These things have you done and I kept silent, you thought that I was altogether such a one as yourself, but I will rebuke you, and set them in order before your eyes. Now consider this, you that forget Elohim, unless I tear you in pieces and there is none to deliver. Whoever offers praise glorifies me, and to him that orders his path aright I will show the salvation of Elohim. Have mercy on me, O Elohim, according to your goodness, according to the wealth of your compassion blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my depravity, and cleanse me from my sin. Because I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is continual. Against you, you only, have I sinned, and done bad in your sight, that you might be justified when you speak, and be clear when you judge. Behold, I was shaped in depravity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Observe, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you will make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop and I will be clean, wash me and I will be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones that you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all my depravities. Create in me a clean heart, O Elohim, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your sacred spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with your noble spirit. Then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners will be converted to you. Deliver me from blood, O Elohim, you Elohim of my salvation, and my tongue will sing aloud of your righteousness. O Adonai, open my lips, and my mouth will show forth your praise. Because you desire not sacrifice, else would I give it, you delight not in whole burnt offering. The sacrifices of Elohim are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart, O Elohim, you will not despise. Do good in your good pleasure unto Zion, rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. Then you will be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with whole burnt offerings that ascend, then will they offer young bulls upon your altar. Why boast yourself in bad, O mighty man? The goodness of Elohim endures daily. Your tongue devises calamity, like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. You love bad more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. You love all devouring speech, O you deceitful tongue. Elohim will likewise destroy you unto the end, he will take you away and pluck you out of your dwelling place, and root you out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also will see, and fear, and will laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not Elohim his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his desires. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of Elohim, I trust in the goodness of Elohim for the ages of the ages. I will praise you for the age, because you have done it, and I will wait on your name, because it is good in the presence of your saints. The fool has said in his heart, there is no Elohim. The corrupt are they, and have done abominable injustice, there is none that does good. Elohim looked down from the cosmos upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek Elohim. Every one of them has gone back, they are altogether become morally corrupt, there is none that does good, no, not one. Have the workers of trouble no knowledge? Who eat up my people as they eat bread, they have not called upon Elohim. There they have been in great dread where no dread was, for Elohim has scattered the bones of him who is encamping against you, you put them to shame, for Elohim has despised them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. When Elohim brings back the captivity of his people, Jacob will rejoice, and Israel will be glad. Save me, O Elohim, by your name, and judge me by your strength. Hear my prayer, O Elohim, give ear to the words of my mouth. For foreigners are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my life, they have not set Elohim before them. Selah. Behold, Elohim is my helper, Adonai is with them that uphold my life. He will reward bad to my enemies, cut them off in your truth. I will freely sacrifice to you, I will praise your name, O YHWH, because it is good. Because he has delivered me out of all trouble, and my eye has seen his desire upon mine enemies. Give ear to my prayer, O Elohim, and hide not yourself from my supplication. Attend to me and hear me, I mourn in my complaint, and make a noise, because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast trouble upon me, and in anger they hate me. My heart is very pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror has overwhelmed me. And I said, Oh that I had wings like a dove! For then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off, and remain in the wilderness. Selah. I would hurry my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Adonai, and divide their tongues, because I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof, trouble also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in there, deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that taunted me, then I could have borne it, neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him, but it was you, a man my equal, my guide and my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together, and walked to the house of Elohim in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into Sheol, because wickedness is in their dwellings, and among them. As for me, I will call upon Elohim, and YHWH will save me. Evening, and morning, and at noon, I will pray and cry aloud, and he will hear my voice. He has delivered my life in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. Elohim will hear and afflict them, even he that abides of old. Selah. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not Elohim. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, he has broken his pledge. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, his words were softer than oil, still were they drawn swords. Cast your burden upon YHWH, and he will sustain you, he will never suffer the righteous to be shaken. But you, O Elohim, will bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men will not live out half their days, but I will trust in you. Be merciful to me, O Elohim, because man would swallow me up, he fighting daily oppresses me. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up, because they are many that fight against me, O you Most High. When I am afraid, at that time I will trust in you. In Elohim I will praise his word, in Elohim I have put my trust, I will not fear what flesh can do to me. Every day they wrest my words, all their thoughts are against me for bad. They gather themselves together, they hide themselves, and they mark my steps, when they wait for my life. Will they escape from the trouble of iniquity? In your anger cast down the people, O Elohim. You tell my wanderings, to put my tears into your bottle, are they not in your book? When I cry to you, then will my enemies turn back, this I know, because Elohim is for me. In Elohim I will praise his word, in YHWH I will praise his word. In Elohim I have put my trust, I will not be afraid what man can do to me. Your vows are upon me, O Elohim, I will render praises to you. Because you have delivered me from death, will you not prevent my feet from falling so that I may walk before Elohim in the light of the living? Be gracious to me, O Elohim, be gracious to me, because I trust in you, yes, in the shadow of your wings I will flee for protection, until these calamities have passed over. I will cry to Elohim Most High, to Elohim that performs all things for me. He will send from the cosmos, and save me from the scorn of him that would swallow me up. Selah. Elohim will send forth his goodness and truth. My life is among lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire, even the sons of men, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. Be exalted, O Elohim, above the cosmos, let your glory be above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps, my life is bowed down, they have dug a pit before me, into its middle they are fallen themselves. Selah. My heart is fixed, O Elohim, my heart is fixed, I will sing and give praise. Awake up, my glory, awake, bagpipe, skin bag, and the lyre, I myself will awake at dawn. I will praise you, O Adonai, among the people, I will sing to you among the nations. Because your goodness extends to the cosmos, and your truth to the clouds. Be exalted, O Elohim, above the cosmos, let your glory be above all the earth. Do you indeed speak righteousness in silence? Do you judge inequity, O you sons of men? Yes, in heart you work wickedness, you weigh the violence of your hands in the land. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, they are like the deaf adder that stops her ear, which will not listen to the voice of conjurers, a charmer of charms most skillful. Break their teeth, O Elohim, in their mouth, break out the great teeth of the young lions, O YHWH. Let them melt away as waters that run continually, when he bends his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail that melts, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he will take them away as with a whirlwind, both living, and in his anger. The righteous will rejoice when he sees the vengeance, he will wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So that a man will say, truly there is a reward for the righteous, truly he is an Elohim that judges in the land. Deliver me from my enemies, O my Elohim, defend me from them that rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of trouble, and save me from bloody men. For lo, they lie in ambush for my life, the mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O YHWH. Without punishment they run and prepare themselves, stir up to meet me and see. You therefore, O YHWH Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, awake to visit all the nations, do not show favor to any wicked transgressors. Selah. They return at sunset, they make a sound like a dog, and go all around the city. Observe, they belch out with their mouth and swords are in their lips, because who they say will hear. But you, O YHWH, will laugh at them, you will have all the nations in derision. Because of his strength I will wait upon you, because Elohim is my stronghold. Elohim does go before me, he causes me to look on my enemies. Kill them not, unless my people forget, scatter them by your power, and bring them down, O Adonai our shield. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips let them even be taken in their pride, and for cursing and lying that they speak. Consume them in anger, consume them and they are not, and let them know that Elohim rules in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. Selah. And at sunset let them return, and let them make a sound like a dog, and go all around the city. Let them wander up and down to eat, and complain if they are not satisfied. But I will sing of your power, yes, I will sing aloud of your mercy in the morning, because you have been my stronghold and place of escape in the day of my trouble. Unto you, O my strength, will I sing, because Elohim is my stronghold, and the Elohim of my goodness. O Elohim, you have cast us off, you have scattered us, you have been displeased, O turn yourself to us again. You have made the earth to tremble, you have broken it, heal the breaches thereof, for it shakes. You have shown your people hard things, you have made us to drink the wine of reeling. You have given to those fearing you an ensign, to be lifted up as an ensign because of truth. Selah. That your beloved may be delivered, save with your right hand and respond to me. Elohim has spoken in his holiness, I will rejoice, I will divide Shechem, and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine, Ephraim also is the strength of my head, Judah is my engraved, as the engraved lion, Moab is my pot for washing, over Edom I cast my shoe, shout, concerning me, O Philistia. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will not you, O Elohim, which had cast us off? And you, O Elohim, that did not go out with our armies? Give us help from trouble, for empty is the deliverance of man. Through Elohim we will do valiantly, because he it is that will tread down our enemies. Hear my cry, O Elohim, attend to my prayer. From the end of the earth I will cry to you, when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock, Urim Thummim, that is higher than I, because you have been a shelter for me, and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in your tabernacle for the ages, I will trust in the covering of your wings. Selah. Because you, O Elohim, have heard my votive offering, you have given me the heritage of those that fear your name. You will prolong the king's life, and his years as many generations. He will abide before Elohim for the ages, O appoint goodness and truth that may guard him. So will I sing praise to your name continually, so that I may daily perform my votive offering. To the overseer, for Jeduthun. A psalm of David. Only, toward Elohim, is my soul silent, from him is my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation, he is my stronghold, I will not be greatly shaken. How long will you imagine mischief against a man? You will be killed, all of you, as a wall inclined, a hedge that is cast down. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency, they delight in lies, they bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Selah. Only, for Elohim, be silent, O my soul, for from him is my hope. He only is my rock and my salvation, he is my stronghold, I will not be shaken. In Elohim is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength and my refuge, is in Elohim. Trust in him at all times, you people, pour out your heart before him, Elohim is a refuge for us. Selah. Certainly men of low degree are vaporous, and men of high degree are a lie, to be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vapor. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in something plundered, if riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Elohim has spoken once, twice I have heard this, that power belongs to Elohim. Also to you, O Adonai, belongs goodness, because you render to everyone according to their work. O Elohim, you are my Elohim, early I will seek you, my mind thirsts for you, my flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land, where no water is, to see your power and your glory, so as I have seen you in the sanctuary. Because your goodness is better than life, my lips will praise you. So will I bless you while I live, I will lift up my hands in your name. My life will be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth will praise with joyful lips, when I remember you upon my bed, and meditate on you in the night watch. Because you have been my help, therefore in the shadow of your wings will I overcome. My mind follows hard after you, your right hand upholds me. But those that seek my life, to destroy it, will go into the lower parts of the earth. They will fall by the sword, they will be a portion for foxes. But the king will rejoice in Elohim, everyone that adjures by him will glory, but the mouth of them that speak lies will be stopped. Hear my voice, O Elohim, in my prayer, guard my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the scheming of the workers of trouble, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter speeches, that they may shoot in secret at the wholesome. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not. They encourage themselves in a bad matter, they commune of laying secret traps, they say, who will see them? They search out injustice, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart, is deep. But Elohim will shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly will they be wounded. So they will make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, all that see them will flee away. And all men will fear, and will declare the work of Elohim, because they will wisely consider of his undertakings. The righteous will be glad in YHWH, and will trust in him, and all the upright in heart will shine. Praise waits for you, O Elohim, in Sion, and to you will the votive offering be completed. O you that hear prayer, to you will all flesh come. Depravities prevail against me, as for our rebellions, you will cover them. Blessed are those you elect, and cause to approach to you, that they may dwell in your courts. We will be satisfied with the goodness of your household, even of your holy temple. By terrible things in righteousness will you answer us, O Elohim of our salvation, who are the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and of them that are afar off on the seas, establishing mountains by his power. He has been girded with might, which stills the sounds of the seas, the sounds of their waves and the roaring of the people. They also that live in the uttermost parts are afraid at your tokens. You make the departures of the sunrise and sunset to rejoice. You visit the earth, and water it, you greatly enrich it with the river of Elohim that is full of water. You prepare them corn, when you have so provided for it. Its ridges have been filled, deepened have been its furrow, with showers you do soften it, its springing up you bless. You crown the year with your goodness, and your tracks drop fatness. They drop upon the pastures of the wilderness, and the little hills rejoice on every side. The pastures are clothed with flocks, the valleys also are covered over with corn. They shout for joy, they also sing. Make a raised blast to Elohim, all you lands, sing out the honor of his name, make his praise glorious. Say to Elohim, how terrible you are in your works. Through the greatness of your power will your enemies submit themselves to you? All the earth will worship you, and will sing to you, they will sing to your name. Selah. Come and see the works of Elohim, he is reverenced in his deeds toward the children of men. He turned around the Red Sea into dry land, they went through the stream on foot, there did we rejoice in him. He rules by his power for the ages, his eyes observe the nations, let not the rebellious exalt themselves. Selah. O bless our Elohim, you people, and make the voice of his praise to be heard, who has set us among the living, and does not permit our feet to be shaken. Because you, O Elohim, have examined us, you have refined us, as silver is smelted. You brought us into the net, you laid affliction upon our hips. You have caused men to ride over our heads, we went through fire and through water, but you brought us out into a full saturation. I will go into your house with whole burnt offerings, I will pay you my votive offering, which my lips have uttered, and my mouth has spoken, when I was in trouble. I will offer to you whole burnt offerings of fatlings, with the smoke of rams, I will offer cattle with goats. Selah. Come and hear, all you that fear Elohim, and I will declare what he has done for me. I cried to him with my mouth, and he was extolled with my tongue. If I regard trouble in my heart, Adonai will not hear me, but truly Elohim has heard me, he has attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed is Elohim that has not turned away my prayer, nor his goodness from me. Elohim is gracious to us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us, Selah. That your way may be known upon earth, your saving health among all nations. Let the people praise you, O Elohim, let all the people praise you. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy, because you will judge the people righteously, and govern the nations upon earth. Selah. Let the people praise you, O Elohim, let all the people praise you. Then will the earth yield her increase, and Elohim, even our own Elohim, will bless us. Elohim will bless us, and all the ends of the earth will fear him. Let Elohim arise, let his enemies be scattered, let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away, as wax melts before the fire, so let the wicked be exterminated at the presence of Elohim. But let the righteous be glad, let them rejoice before Elohim, yes, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing to Elohim, sing praises to his name, extol him that rides upon the cosmos by his name Yah, and rejoice before him. A father of the fatherless, and a judge of the widows, is Elohim in his holy habitation. Elohim sets the solitary in families, he brings out those that are bound with chains, but the rebellious live in a parched land. O Elohim, when you went out before your people, when you did march through the desert, Selah, the earth quaked, the skies also distilled at the presence of Elohim, even Sinai itself at the presence of Elohim, the Elohim of Israel. You, O Elohim, did send a plentiful rain, whereby you did confirm your inheritance, when it was weary. Your community has lived there, you, O Elohim, have prepared of your goodness for the poor. Adonai gave the word, great was the host of those that published it. Kings of armies did retreat, and she that pastured at home divided the plunder. Though you do lie between two boundaries, wings of a dove covered with silver, and her pinions with yellow gold. When Shaddai scattered kings in it, it was as the snow in Salmon. The hill of Elohim is as the hill of Bashan, and high hill as the hill of Bashan. Why leap you, you high hills? This is the hill that Elohim desires to live in, yes, YHWH will live in it unto the end. The chariots of Elohim are 20,000, even thousands of angels, Adonai is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. You have ascended to the elevated place, you have led captivity captive, you have received gifts for men, yes, for the rebellious also, that YHWH Elohim might live among them. Blessed is Adonai, who daily loads us with benefits, even the Elohim of our salvation. Selah. He that is our Elohim is the Elohim of salvation, and unto Elohim Adonai belongs the escape from death. But Elohim will wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such a one as goes on still in his offenses. Adonai said, I will return from Bashan, I will return my people by way of the deep seas, that your foot may be dipped in the blood of your enemies, and the tongue of your dogs in the same. They have seen your caravans, O Elohim, even the marching of my Elohim, my King, in the sanctuary. The singers went before, the players on instruments followed after, among them were the damsels playing with timbrels. Bless Elohim in the choir, even Adonai, from the fountain of Israel. There is little Benjamin with their ruler, the princes of Judah and their council, the princes of Zebulun, and the princes of Naphtali. Your Elohim has commanded your strength, strengthen, O Elohim, what you have made for us. Because of your temple at Jerusalem will kings bring presents to you. Rebuke you, the wild beast of the reeds, the herd of mighty oxen among the calves of the peoples, each one bowing down with bars of silver, scatter you the peoples, who in wars take delight. Princes will come out of Egypt, Ethiopia will soon stretch out her hands to Elohim. Sing to Elohim, you kingdoms of the earth, O sing praises to Adonai, Selah, to him who is riding on the cosmos of the universe of old, lo, he gives with his voice a strong voice. Ascribe you strength to Elohim, his excellency is over Israel, and his strength is in the cloud mass. O Elohim, you are terrifying out of your holy places, the Elohim of Israel is he that gives strength and power to his people. Blessed is Elohim. Save me, O Elohim, because the waters are come in unto me. I sink in deep mire, where there is no foothold, I am come into deep waters, where the flowing stream engulfs me. I am weary of my crying, my throat is dried, my eyes fail while I wait for my Elohim. They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of my head, they that would destroy me, being my enemies wrongfully, are mighty, then I restored what I did not steal. O Elohim, you know my folly, and my sins are not hidden from you. Let not them that wait on you, O Adonai YHWH of hosts, be ashamed for my sake, let not those that seek you be confounded for my sake, O Elohim of Israel. Because for your sake I have borne taunting, shame has covered my face. I am become a stranger to my kinship, and an alien to my mother's children. Because the zeal of your temple has eaten me up, and the scorn of them that taunted you are fallen upon me. And I weep in the fasting of my appetite, and it is for a scorn to me. I made sackcloth also my garment, and I became a proverb to them. They that sit in the gate speak against me, and I was the song of the drunkards. But as for me, my prayer is to you, O YHWH, in an acceptable time, O Elohim, in the multitude of your goodness hear me, in the truth of your salvation. Deliver me out of the mire, and let me not sink, let me be delivered from them that hate me and out of the deep waters. Let not the waters engulf me, neither let the deep sea swallow me up, and let not the pit shut her mouth upon me. Hear me, O YHWH, because your goodness is good, turn to me according to the abundance of your compassions. And hide not your presence from your slave, because I am in trouble, hear me speedily. Draw near to me and act as a kinsman redeemer, deliver me because of my enemies. You have known my scorn and my shame, and my dishonor, my adversaries are all before you. Taunting has broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness, and I looked for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. They gave me also gall for my food, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. Let their table become a snare before them, and what should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened so that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake. Pour out your indignation upon them, and let your nostrils burn at them. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none live in their tents. Because they persecute him whom you have smitten, and they talk to the grief of those whom you have wounded. Add depravity to their depravity, and let them not enter into your righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of life, and not be written with the righteous. But I am poor and sorrowful, let your salvation, O Elohim, set me up on high. I will praise the name of Elohim with a song, and will magnify him with thanksgiving. This also will please YHWH better than an ox or young bull that has horns and hoofs. The humble will see this and be glad, and your heart will be restored who inquire, by Urim Thummim, of Elohim. Because YHWH hears the poor, and despises not his prisoners. Let the cosmos and earth praise him, the seas, and everything that moves therein. Because Elohim will save Zion, and will rebuild the cities of Judah, that they may live there, and have it in possession. The descendants also of his slaves will inherit it, and they that love his name will live therein. O Elohim, deliver me, hurry to help me, O YHWH. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my life, let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my injury. Let them be turned back for a reward of their shame that say, Aha, aha. Let all those that seek you rejoice and be glad in you, and let such as love your salvation say continually, Let Elohim be magnified. But I am poor and needy, hurry to me O Elohim, you are my help and my deliverer, O YHWH, make no delay. In you O YHWH, do I put my trust, let me never be put to confusion. Deliver me in your righteousness, and cause me to escape, incline your ear to me and save me. Be my strong habitation, where I may continually resort to, you have given commandment to save me, because you are my rock and my fortress. Deliver me O my Elohim, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. Because you are my hope, O Adonai YHWH, you are my confidence from my youth. By you I have been supported from the womb, you are he that took me out of my mother's bowels, my praise will be continually of you. I am as a wonder to many, but you are my strong refuge. Let my mouth be filled with your praise and with your honor all the day. Cast me not off in the time of old age, forsake me not when my strength fails. Because my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for me take counsel together, saying, Elohim has forsaken him, pursue and arrest him, because there is none to deliver him. O Elohim, be not far from me, O my Elohim, hurry for my help. Let them be confounded and consumed that are adversaries to me, let them be covered with scorn and dishonor that seek my injury. But I will hope continually, and will yet praise you more and more. My mouth will show forth your righteousness and your salvation all the day, for I have not known the numbers. I will go in the strength of Adonai YHWH, I will make mention of your righteousness, even of yours only. O Elohim, you have taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared your wondrous works. Now also when I am old and grey-headed O Elohim, forsake me not, until I have shown your strength to this generation, and to everyone your power that is to come. Your righteousness also O Elohim, is very high, who has done great things, O Elohim, who is like unto you. You, that has shown me many and distressful troubles, will resurrect me again, and will bring me up again from the abyss of the ground. You will increase my greatness, and comfort me on every side. I will also praise you with the instrument, even your truth, O my Elohim, unto you I will sing with the lyre, O you Holy One of Israel. My lips will greatly rejoice when I sing to you, I, who you have ransomed. My tongue also will talk of your righteousness all the day long, because they are confounded, for they are brought to shame that seek my injury. Give the king your judgments O Elohim, and your righteousness to the king's son. He will judge your people with righteousness and your poor with judgment. The mountains will bring peace to the people, and the little hills, by righteousness. He will judge the poor of the people, he will save the children of the needy and will break in pieces the oppressor. They will fear you as long as the sun and moon endure, throughout all generations. He will come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the land. In his days will the righteous flourish, and abundance of peace, until the moon is no more. He will have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river to the ends of the earth. They that live in the wilderness will bow before him, and his enemies will lick the dust. The kings of Tarshish and of the isles will bring presents, the kings of Sheba and Seba will offer gifts. Yes, all kings will fall down before him, all nations will serve him. Because he will deliver the needy when he cries, the poor also, and him that has no helper. He will spare the poor and needy, and will save the lives of the needy. He will ransom their lives from deceit and violence, and precious will their blood be in his sight. And he will live, and to him will be given of the gold of Sheba, prayer also will be made for him continually, and daily will he be praised. There will be a handful of corn in the land upon the top of the mountains, the fruit of it will shake like Lebanon, and they of the city will flourish like the grass of the earth. His name will endure for the ages, his name will be continued as long as the sun, and people will be blessed in him, all nations will call him blessed. Blessed is YHWH Elohim, the Elohim of Israel, who only does glorious things. And blessed is his glorious name for the ages, and let the whole earth be filled with his glory. Amen, and Amen. The prayers of David the son of Jesse are ended. Truly Elohim is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had almost slipped. Because I was envious at the boastful when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Because there are no bonds in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride serves them as a necklace, violence covers them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the cosmos, and their tongue walks through the earth. Therefore his people return here, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how does Elohim know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Observe, these are the ungodly, who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. Truly I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in freedom from guilt. Because all day long have I been stricken and corrected every morning. If I have said, I recount thus, lo, a generation of your sons I have deceived. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of Elohim, then I understood their end. Certainly you did set them in slippery places, you cast them down into ruin. How are they brought into waste, as in a moment? They are wholly consumed with calamities. As a dream when one awakes, so, O Adonai, when you are roused, you will despise their images. So my heart was grieved and I was pricked in my kidneys. So foolish was I, and ignorant, I was as a beast before you. Nevertheless I am continually with you, you have grasped me by my right hand. You will guide me with your counsel and afterward receive me to glory. Whom have I in the cosmos but you? And there is none upon earth that I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart fails, but Elohim is the strength of my heart and my portion for the ages. For lo, they that are far from you will perish, you have destroyed all them that go a-whoring from you. But it is good for me to draw near to Elohim, I have put my trust in Adonai Yhwh, that I may declare all your works. O Elohim, why have you cast us off unto the end? Why does your anger smoke against the sheep of your pasture? Remember your congregation, that you have purchased of old, the rod of your inheritance that you have ransomed, this Mount Zion, where you have settled down. Lift up your steps to the places utterly unsafe, even all the mischief, the enemy of the sanctuary. Your enemies roar amidst the appointed place, they set up their ensigns for signs. A man was famous according as he had lifted up axes upon the thick trees. But now they break down the carved work thereof at once with axes and hammers. They have cast fire into your sanctuary, they have defiled by casting down the tabernacle of your name to the ground. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together, they have burnt up all the appointed place of Elohim in the land. We see not our signs, there is no more any prophet, nor with us is knowing how long. O Elohim, how long will the adversary taunt? Will the enemy blaspheme your name unto the end? Why return your hand, even your right hand, from within your bosom? Because Elohim is my king of old, working salvation in the midst of the land. You did divide the sea by your strength, you broke the heads of the serpents in the waters. You broke the heads of the large aquatic animal in pieces, and gave him to be meat to the people inhabiting the wilderness. You did split the spring and the torrent, you dried up mighty rivers. The day is yours, the night also is yours, you have prepared the light and the sun. You have set all the borders of the land, you have made summer and winter. Remember this, that the enemy has blasphemed Yhwh, and the foolish people have despised your name. Give not up to a company, the life of your turtle dove, the company of your poor ones forget not unto the end. Have respect to the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are full of the habitations of cruelty. O let not the oppressed return ashamed, let the poor and needy praise your name. Arise O Elohim, plead your own cause, remember how the foolish man scorns you daily. Forget not the voice of your enemies, the tumult of those that rise up against you increases continually. Unto you O Elohim do we give thanks, to you do we give thanks, because your name is near and your marvelous works declared. When I will receive the appointed place, I will judge rightly. The earth and all its inhabitants thereof are dissolved, I regulate its pillars. Selah. I have said to the boastful, be not boastful, and to the wicked, raise not up a horn. Lift not up your horn on a high place, speak not with a stiff neck. For exaltation comes neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Elohim is the judge, he puts down one and sets up another. For a cup is in the hand of Yhwh, and the wine has foamed, it is full of mixture, and he pours out of it, only its dregs ring out, and drink, do all the wicked of the earth, but I will declare for the ages, I will sing praises to the Elohim of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also I will cut off, but the horns of the righteous will be exalted. In Judah is Elohim known, his name is great in Israel. In Salem also is his covert, and his habitation in Zion. There break he the arrows of the bow, the shield, and the sword, and the battle. Selah. You are more glorious and excellent than the mountains of prey. The valiant are plundered, they have slept their sleep, and none of the men of might have found their hands. At your rebuke, O Elohim of Jacob, both rider and horse have been fast asleep. You, even you, are to be feared, and who may stand in your sight when once you are angry. You did cause judgment to be heard from the cosmos, the earth feared, and was still, when Elohim arose to judgment, to save all the poor of the land. Selah. For the fierceness of mankind serves only to praise you, with a remnant of fierceness you gird yourself. Vow and complete to YHWH your Elohim, all you surrounding him. They bring presents to the fearful one. He will cut off the breath of princes, he is terrible to the kings of the earth. I cried to Elohim with my voice, even to Elohim with my voice, and he gave ear to me. In a day of my distress I sought Adonai, my hand by night has been spread out and it does not cease, I have refused to be comforted. I remembered Elohim and was troubled, I complained, and my heart was overwhelmed. Selah. You held my eyes waking, I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night, I commune with my own mind, and my heart made diligent search. Will Adonai cast off for the ages? And will he be favorable no more? Is his goodness clean gone unto the end? Does his promise fail for the ages? Has Elohim forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his tender compassion? Selah. And I said, this is my infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of YHWH, certainly I will remember your wonders of old. I will meditate also of all your work, and talk of your practices. Your way, O Elohim, is in the sanctuary, who is so great an Elohim as our Elohim. You are the Elohim that does wonders, you have declared your strength among the people. You have with your arm ransomed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. The waters saw you, O Elohim, the waters saw you, they were afraid, the depths also were troubled. The clouds poured forth with water, the skies sent out a sound, your arrows also went abroad. The voice of your thunder was in the cosmos, the flashing of lightning illuminated the world, the earth trembled and quaked. Your way is in the sea, and your path in the great waters, and your footsteps are not known. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Give ear, O my people, to my Torah, incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable, I will utter difficult questions of old, which we have heard and known, and our forefathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of YHWH, and his strength, and his wonderful works that he has accomplished. Because he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Israel, that he commanded our forefathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children that should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in Elohim, and not forget the works of Elohim, but observe his commandments, and they are not like their forefathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose mind was not faithful with Elohim. The children of Ephraim, being armed, and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They observed not the covenant of Elohim, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his works, and his wonders that he had shown them. Marvelous things he did in the sight of their forefathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the Red Sea, and caused them to pass through, and he took away the waters to stand upright as a piled-up heap. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud mass, and all the night with a light of supernatural fire. He split the rocks in the uninhabited land, and gave them drink as out of the great deep places. He brought streams also out of the rock, and caused waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned still more against him by provoking the Most High in the uninhabited land. And they tested Elohim in their heart by asking meat for their appetite. Yes, they spoke against Elohim, they said, can Elohim furnish a table in the uninhabited land? Look, he struck the rock so that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed, can he give food also? Can he provide flesh for his people to eat? Therefore YHWH heard this, and was alienated, so a supernatural fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in Elohim, and trusted not in his salvation, though he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of the skies, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them of the grain from the skies. Man did eat angels' food, he sent them food to the full. He caused an east wind to blow in the skies, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like the sand of the sea, and he let it fall in the middle of their camp, all around their habitations. So they did eat and were well filled, because he gave them their own desire, they were not estranged from their lust. But while their meat was still in their mouths, the anger of Elohim came upon them, and killed the fattest of them, and downed the young men of Israel. For all this they sinned still, and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume as a vapor, and their years in dismay. When he killed them, then they sought him, and they returned and sought early after Elohim. And they remembered that Elohim was their rock, and the high Elohim their kinsman redeemer. Nevertheless they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied to him with their tongues. Because their heart was not right with him, neither were they faithful in his covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their depravity, and destroyed them not. Yes, many a times turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all his rage. Because he remembered that they were but flesh, a breath that passes away and returns not again. How often did they provoke him in the uninhabited land, and grieved him in the desert? Yes, they turned back and tested Elohim, and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy. How he had set his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers into blood, and their floods so that they could not drink. He sent different sorts of flies among them that devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave also their increase to the caterpillar, and their labor to the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast on them the fierceness of his anger, fury, indignation, and trouble, by sending evil angels. He leveled a path to his anger, he spared not their lives from death, but gave their life over to the plague, and struck all the firstborn in Egypt, the first of their strength in the tents of Ham, but made his own people to go out like sheep, and guided them in the uninhabited land like a flock. And he led them on safely, so that they feared not, but the Red Sea overwhelmed their enemies. And he brought them to the border of his sanctuary, even to this mountain, that his right hand had possessed. He cast out the nations also before them, and divided them an inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to live in their tents. Still they tested and provoked the Most High Elohim, and observed not his testimonies, but turned back, and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers, they were turned aside like a deceitful bow. Because they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. When Elohim heard this he was alienated, and greatly despised Israel, so that he abandoned the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent where he settled down among mankind, and delivered his strength into captivity, and his glory into the enemy's hand. He gave his people over also to the sword, and was alienated with his inheritance. The supernatural fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given to marriage. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no weeping. Then Adonai awaked as one out of sleep, and like a mighty man that shouts by reason of wine. And he struck his enemies, on the backside, he devoted them to an age-lasting scorn. Moreover he refused the tabernacle of Joseph, and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion that he loved. And he built his sacred place on high, like the earth that he has established for the ages. He chose David also his slave, and took him from the sheepfolds, from following the ewes great with young he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skill of his hands. O Elohim, the nations are come into your inheritance, your holy temple have they defiled, they have laid Jerusalem on heaps. The corpses of your slaves have they given to be meat to the flying creatures of the sky, the flesh of your saints to the animals of the land. Their blood have they shed like water all around Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. We are become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to them that are all around us. How long, YHWH? Will you be angry unto the end? Will your jealousy burn like fire? Pour out your rage on the nations that have not known you, and upon the kingdoms that have not called on your name. Because they have devoured Jacob, and laid waste his dwelling place. Oh, remember not against us former depravities, let your tender compassion speedily prevent us, for we are brought very low. Help us, O Elohim of our salvation, for the glory of your name, and deliver us, and cover our sins, for your name's sake. Therefore should the people say, where is their Elohim? Let him be known among the nations in our sight by the revenging of the blood of your slaves that is shed. Let the sighing of the prisoner come before you, according to the greatness of your power preserve you those that are appointed to die, and render to our neighbors sevenfold into their bosom their reproach, with which they have blasphemed you, O Adonai. So we your people and sheep of your pasture will give you thanks for the ages, we will show forth your praise to all generations. Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, you that lead Joseph like a flock, you that dwell between the cherubim, shine forth. Before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh stir up your strength, and come and save us. Return to us again, O Elohim, and cause your face to shine, and we will be saved. O YHWH Elohim of hosts, how long will you be angry against the prayer of your people? You fed them with the bread of tears, and give them tears to drink in great measure. You make us a strife to our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. Return to us again, O Elohim of hosts, and cause your face to shine, and we will be saved. You have brought a vine out of Egypt, you have cast out the nations, and planted it. You have looked before it, and do rooted, and it filled the land, the hills were covered with the shadow of it, and its boughs were like the cedars of Elohim. She sent out her boughs to the sea, and her branches to the river. Why have you then broken down her hedges, so that all they which pass by the way do pluck her? The boar out of the woods does waste it, and the wild beast of the field does devour it. Return, we beseech you, O Elohim of hosts, look down from the cosmos, and inspect, and visit this vine, and the vineyard that your right hand has planted, and the branch that you made strong for yourself. It is burnt with fire, it is cut down, they perish at the rebuke of your presence. Let your hand be upon the man of your right hand, upon the Son of Man whom you made strong for yourself. And we do not go back from you, you do revive us, and in your name we call. Return to us again, O YHWH Elohim of hosts, cause your face to shine, and we will be saved. Sing aloud to Elohim our strength, make a joyful noise to the Elohim of Jacob. Take up a melody and employ the tambourine, the pleasant lyre with the bagpipe, skin bag. Blow the ram's horn in the new moon, in the time appointed, on our solemn festival gathering. Because this was a statute for Israel, and an ordinance of the Elohim of Jacob. This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony, when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I removed his shoulder from the burden, his hands were delivered from the pots. You called in trouble and I delivered you, I answered you in the covering of thunder, I examined you at the waters of Meribah. Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify to you, O Israel, if you will listen to me, there will no foreign Elohim be in you, neither will you worship any foreign Elohim. I am YHWH Elohim that brought you out of the land of Egypt, open your mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not listen to my voice, and Israel would have none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had listened to me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries. The hateful of YHWH should have submitted themselves to him, but their time should have endured for the ages. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied you. A melody of Asaph. Elohim stands in the divine congregation, he judges among the Elohim. How long will you judge unjustly, and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy, rescue them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand, they walk on in darkness, all the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, you are Elohim, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you will die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O Elohim, judge the earth, because you will inherit all nations. O Elohim, let there be no silence to you, be not silent, nor be quiet, O Elohim. For lo, your enemies make a roar, and they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted against your treasured ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more exist to be remembered. Because they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against you, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur also is joined with them, they have strengthened the children of Lot. Selah. Do to them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, that perished at Endor, they became as dung for the ground. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeb, yes, all their princes as Zebah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Elohim in possession. O my Elohim, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind. As the fire burns a wood, and as the flame sets the mountains on fire, so pursue them with your storm, and make them afraid with your storm wind. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek your name, O YHWH. Let them be confounded and troubled unto the end, yes, let them be put to shame and perish, that people may know that you, whose name alone is YHWH, are the Most High over all the earth. How amiable are your tabernacles, O YHWH of hosts! My life longs, yes, even faints for the courts of YHWH, my heart and my flesh cry out for the living Elohim Elohim. Yes, the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young, even your altars, O YHWH of hosts, my King, and my Elohim. Blessed are they that live in your household, they will be still praising you. Selah. Happy is the man whose strength is in you, in whose heart are the ways of them. Who passing through the valley of Baca make it a well, the rain also fills the pools. They go from strength to strength, every one of them in Zion appears before Elohim. O YHWH Elohim of hosts, hear my prayer, give ear, O Elohim of Jacob. Selah. Consider, O Elohim our shield, and look upon the face of your anointed. Because a day in your courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a guard in the temple of my Elohim, than to live in the tents of wickedness. Because YHWH Elohim is a sun and shield, YHWH will give grace and glory, no goodness will he withhold from them that walk wholesome. O YHWH of hosts, happy is the man that trusts in you. YHWH, you have been favorable to your land, you have brought back the captivity of Jacob. You have forgiven the depravity of your people, you have covered all their sin. Selah. You have taken away all your fury, you have turned yourself from the fierceness of your anger. Return to us, O Elohim of our salvation, and cause your anger toward us to cease. Will you be angry with us for the ages? Will you draw out your anger to all generations? Will you not resurrect us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Show us your goodness, O YHWH, and grant us your salvation. I will hear what LYHWH will speak, because he will speak peace to his people and to his saints, but let them not return to folly. Certainly his salvation is near to them that fear him, that glory may abide in our land. Goodness and truth are met together, righteousness and peace have kissed. Truth will spring out of the earth, and righteousness will look down from the cosmos. Yes, YHWH will give what is good, and our land will yield her increase. Righteousness will go before him, and will set us in the way of his steps. Bow down your ear, O YHWH, hear me, because I am poor and needy. Preserve me because I am faithful, O you my Elohim, save your slave that trusts in you. Be gracious to me, O Adonai, because I cry to you daily. Rejoice in the life of your slave, for unto you, O Adonai, do I lift up my passion. Because you, Adonai, are good, and ready to forgive, and abounding in goodness to all them that call on you. Give ear, O YHWH, to my prayer, and attend to the voice of my supplications. In the day of my trouble I will call on you, because you will answer me. Among the Elohim there is none like you, O Adonai, neither are there any works like your works. All nations whom you have fashioned will come and worship before you, O Adonai, and will glorify your name. Because you are great, and do wondrous things, you are Elohim alone. Teach me your way, O YHWH, I will walk in your truth, unite my heart to fear your name. I will praise you, O Adonai my Elohim, with all my heart, and I will glorify your name for the ages. Because great is your goodness toward me, and you have delivered me from the lowest Sheol. O Elohim, the proud are risen against me, and the assemblies of the violent have sought after my life, and have not set you before them. But you, O Adonai, are an Elohim full of compassion and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in goodness and truth. O turn to me and show favor to me, give your strength to your slave, and deliver the son of your female slave. Show me a token for good, that they who hate me may see it and be ashamed, because you, YHWH, have supported me and comforted me. His foundation is in the holy mountain. YHWH loves the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of you, O city of Elohim. Selah. I will make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me, observe Philistia, and Tyre, with Ethiopia, this man was born there. And of Zion it will be said, this and that man was born in her, and the Most High himself will establish her. YHWH will recount, when he records the people that this man was born there. Selah. As well the singers as the players on instruments will be there, all my springs are in you, O YHWH Elohim of my salvation, I have cried day and night before you, let my prayer come before you, incline your ear to my cry, because my life is full of troubles, and my life draws near to Sheol. I am counted with them that go down into the pit, I am as a man that has no strength, free among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, whom you remember no more, and they are cut off from your hand. You have laid me in the lowest pit, in darkness, in the deeps. Your indignation lies hard upon me, and you have afflicted me with all your breakers, of sea. Selah. You have removed my acquaintance far from me, you have made me an abomination to them, I am shut up, and I cannot come out. Mine I mourned by reason of affliction, YHWH, I have called daily upon you, I have stretched out my hands to you. Will you show wonders to the dead? Will the dead arise and confess you? Selah. Will your goodness be declared in the grave? Or your faithfulness in the place of destruction? Will your wonders be known in the dark? And your righteousness in the land of oblivion? But to you have I cried, O YHWH, and in the morning will my prayer prevent you. YHWH, why cast off my life? Why hide your face from me? I am afflicted and ready to die from my youth up, while I suffer your terrors I am distracted. Your fierce anger goes over me, your terrors have cut me off. They surrounded me daily like water, they compassed me all around together. Lover and friend have you put far from me, and mine acquaintance into darkness. I will sing of the goodness of YHWH for the ages, with my mouth I will make known your fidelity to all generations. Because I have said, goodness will be established for the ages, your fidelity will you establish in the cosmos. I have made a covenant with my chosen, I have adjured to David my slave, your descendants will I establish for the ages, establishing your throne to all generations. Selah. And the cosmos will praise your wonders, O YHWH, your fidelity also in the company of the saints. Because who in the cosmos can be compared to YHWH? Who among the sons of the mighty can be likened to YHWH? Elohim is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reverence of all them that are around him. O YHWH, Elohim of hosts, who is a strong YHWH like you? Or to your fidelity all around you? You rule the raging of the sea, when the waves of it arise, you still them. You have broken Rahab in pieces, as one that is slain, you have scattered your enemies with your strong arm. The cosmos is yours, the earth also is yours, as for the world and the fullness of it, you have founded them. The north and the south you have created them, Tabor and Hermon will rejoice in your name. You have a mighty arm, strong is your hand, and exalted is your right hand. Justice and judgment are the habitation of your throne, goodness and truth will go before your presence. Happy are the people that know the joyful sound, they will walk, O YHWH, in the light of your presence. In your name will they rejoice all the day, and in your righteousness will they be exalted. Because you are the glory of their strength, and in your favor our horn will be exalted. Because YHWH is our shield, and the Holy One of Israel is our King. Then you spoke in vision to your saint and said, I have laid help upon one that is mighty, I have exalted one chosen out of the people. I have secured David my slave, with my holy oil have I anointed him, with whom my hand will be established, my arm also will strengthen him. The enemy will not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him. And I will beat down his foes before his face, and plague them that hate him. But my fidelity and goodness will be with him, and in my name will his horn be exalted. I will set his hand also in the sea, and his right hand in the rivers. He will cry to me, you are my Father, my Elohim, and the rock of my salvation. Also I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the earth. My goodness I will keep for him for the ages, and my covenant will stand fast with him. His descendants also I will make to endure to the future times, and his throne as the days of the cosmos. If his children forsake my Torah, and walk not in my judgments, if they break my statutes, and observe not my commandments, then I will visit their transgression with the rod, and their depravity with plague. And my kindness I break not from him, nor do I deal falsely in my fidelity. My covenant I will not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Once have I adjured by my holiness that I will not lie to David. His descendants will be established for the ages, and his throne as the sun before me. It will be established for the ages as the moon, and as a faithful witness in the cosmos. Selah. But you have cast off and despised, you have been angry with your anointed. You have made void the covenant of your slave, you have profaned his crown by casting it to the ground. You have broken down all his hedges, you have brought his strongholds to ruin. All that pass by the way plunder him, he is a taunt to his neighbors. You have set up the right hand of his adversaries, you have made all his enemies to rejoice. You have also turned the edge of his sword, and have not made him to stand in the battle. You have made his glory to cease, and cast his throne down to the ground. The days of his youth have you shortened, you have covered him with shame. Selah. How long, YHWH? Will you hide yourself unto the end? Will your anger burn like supernatural fire? Remember how short my time is, why have you made all children in emptiness? What man is he that lives, and will not see death? Will he deliver his life from the hand of Sheol? Selah. Adonai, where is your former goodness that you adjured to David in your fidelity? Remember Adonai, the scorn of your slaves, how I do bear in my bosom the taunt of all the mighty people, wherein your enemies have scorned O YHWH, wherein they have reproached the footsteps of your anointed. Blessed is YHWH for the ages. Amen, and Amen. Adonai, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before mountains were brought forth, and you did form the earth and the world, even from age unto age you are Elohim. You turn back man to dust, and say, Return, you children of mankind. Because 1,000 years in your sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night. You carry them away as with a flood, they are as asleep, in the morning they are like grass that grows up. In the morning it flourishes, and grows up, in the evening it is cut down, and withers. Because we are consumed by your anger, and by your rage are we troubled. You have set our depravities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. Because all our days are passed away in your fury, we spend our years as a moan. Days of our years, in them are 70 years, and if, by reason of might, 80 years, still is there enlargement labor and vanity, for it has been cut off hastily, and we fly away. Who knows the power of your anger? Even according to your fear, so is your fury. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Return, O YHWH, how long? And let it regret you concerning your slaves. O satisfy us early with your goodness, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad according to the days in which you have afflicted us, and the years in which we have seen badness. Let your work appear to your slaves, and your glory to their children. And let the beauty of YHWH Elohim be upon us, and establish you the work of our hands upon us, yes, establish the work of our hands. He that lives in the covering of the Most High will abide under the shadow of Shaddai. I will say of YHWH, He is my refuge and my stronghold, my Elohim, in Him will I trust. Certainly He will deliver you from the snare of the trapper, and from the ruinous plague. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will seek refuge, His truth will be your shield and buckler. You will not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day, nor for the plague that comes in darkness, nor for the destruction that destroys at noonday. 1,000 will fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. Only with your eyes will you observe and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made YHWH, who is my refuge, even the Most High your habitation, there will no bad befall you, neither will any plague come near your tent. Because He will give His angels charge over you, to guard you in all your ways. They will bear you up in their hands, unless you dash your foot against a stone. You will tread upon the lion and snake, the young lion and the serpent you will trample under feet. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver Him, I will set Him on high, because He has known my name. He will call upon me and I will answer him, I will be with him in trouble, I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him, and show him my salvation. It is good to give thanks to YHWH, and to sing praises to your name, O Most High, to show forth your goodness in the morning, and your fidelity every night, upon an instrument of 10 strings, and upon the bagpipe, skin bag, upon the lyre with a resounding music. For you YHWH, have made me glad through your work, I will triumph in the works of your hands. O YHWH, how great are your works! And your thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knows not, neither does a dullard understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of trouble do flourish, it is that they will be destroyed in the future time, but you YHWH, are in the elevated place for the ages. For lo, your enemies O YHWH, for lo, your enemies will perish, all the workers of trouble will be scattered. But my horn will you exalt like the horn of a wild bull, I will be anointed with fresh oil. And my eye looked on my enemies, of those rising up against me, the doers of bad, do my ears hear. The righteous will flourish like the palm tree, he will grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that are planted in the household of YHWH will flourish in the courts of our Elohim. They will still bring forth fruit in old age, they will be fat and flourishing, to show that YHWH is upright, he is my rock, and there is no injustice in him. YHWH reigns, he is clothed with majesty, YHWH is clothed with strength, wherein he has girded himself, the world also is established so that it cannot be moved. Established is your throne since then. From age past times, you are. The floods have lifted up O YHWH, the floods have lifted up their voice, the floods lift up their crashing. YHWH in the elevated place is mightier than the noise of many waters, yea, than the mighty waves of the sea. Your testimonies are faithful, holiness is befitting your temple O YHWH, for the length of days. O YHWH Elohim, to whom vengeance belongs, O Elohim, to whom vengeance belongs, show yourself. Lift up yourself, you judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud. YHWH, how long will the wicked triumph? How long will they utter and speak arrogant things? And all the workers of trouble boast themselves? They break in pieces your people O YHWH, and afflict your heritage. They slay the widow and the foreigner, and murder the fatherless. Still they say, YHWH will not see, neither will the Elohim of Jacob regard it. Understand you brutish among the people, and you dullards, when will you be wise? He that planted the ear, will he not hear? He that formed the eye, will he not see? He that disciplines the nations, will he not correct? He that teaches mankind knowledge, will he not know? YHWH knows the thoughts of man that they are vaporous, vanity. Blessed is the man whom you discipline, O YHWH, and teaches him out of your Torah, that you may give him rest from the days of adversity, until the pit is dug for the wicked. Because YHWH will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. But judgment will return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart will follow it. Who will rise up for me against the bad ones? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of trouble? Unless YHWH had been my help, my life had almost resided in silence. When I said, my foot slips, your goodness O YHWH, supported me up. In the abundance of my thoughts within me your comforts delight me. Will the seed of engulfing ruin bind together with you, that frames mischief by a statute? They gather themselves together against the lives of the righteous, and condemn the innocent blood. But YHWH is my stronghold, and my Elohim is the rock of my refuge. And he will bring upon them their own trouble, and will cut them off in their own wickedness. Yes, YHWH our Elohim will cut them off. O come, let us sing to YHWH, let us raise a sound to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and raise a sound to him with songs. Because YHWH is a great Elohim, and a great king above all Elohim. In his hand are the ranges of the land, the strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his and he fashioned it, and his hands formed the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down, let us kneel before YHWH our Maker. For he is our Elohim, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart, as in the contention and as in the day of the test in the uninhabited land, when your forefathers tested me, examined me, and saw my work. For 40 long years was I grieved with this generation and said, it is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways, to whom I adjured in my anger that they should not enter into my resting place. O sing to YHWH a new song, sing to YHWH, all the earth. Sing to YHWH, bless his name, show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the nations, his wonders among all people. Because YHWH is great, and greatly to be praised, he is to be feared above all Elohim. Because all the Elohim of the nations are worthless, but YHWH fashioned the cosmos. Honor and majesty are before him, strength and beauty are in his holy place. Give to YHWH, O you clans of the people, give to YHWH glory and strength. Give to YHWH the glory due to his name, bring an offering, and come into his courts. O worship YHWH in the beauty of holiness, fear before him, all the land. Say among the nations that YHWH reigns, the world also will be established that it will not be moved, he will judge the people righteously. Let the cosmos rejoice, and let the land be glad, let the sea roar, and its fullness thereof. Let the field be joyful and all that is in it, then will all the trees of the forest rejoice. Before YHWH, for he comes to judge the earth, he will judge the world with righteousness, and the people with his truth. YHWH reigns, let the earth rejoice, let the multitude of isles be glad. Cloud mass and dark clouds surround him, righteousness and judgment are the established place of his throne. A supernatural fire goes before him, and blazes up his enemies all around. His lightning flashes illuminated the world, the earth saw it, and writhed. The hills dissolved like wax at the presence of YHWH, at the presence of Adonai of the whole earth. The cosmos declares his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. Confounded are all they that serve idols, that praise the good for nothing. Worship him, all you Elohim. Zion heard and was glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoiced because of your judgments O YHWH. For you YHWH, are high above all the earth, you are exalted far above all Elohim. You that love YHWH, hate bad, he preserves the lives of his saints, he delivers them out of the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness, for the upright in heart. Rejoice in YHWH you righteous, and give thanks at the memorial of his holiness. O sing to YHWH a new song, because he has done distinguished things, his right hand and his sacred arm has given liberation. YHWH has made known his salvation, his king he has uncovered, as symbolically the Urim Thummim, in the sight of the nations. He has remembered his goodness and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our Elohim. Make a joyful noise to YHWH, all the earth, make a breaking forth, and rejoice, and sing praise. Sing to YHWH with the lyre, with the guitar, and the voice of melody. With trumpets and sound of cornet make a joyful blast before YHWH the King. Let the sea thunder in its fullness, the world and they that live in it. Let the streams clap hands, let the hills be joyful together before YHWH, because he comes to judge the earth, with righteousness will he judge the world and the people with equity. YHWH reigns, let the people tremble, he sits between the cherubim, let there be the earthquake. YHWH is great in Zion, and he is exalted above all the people. Let them praise your great and terrible name, because it is holy. The king's strength also loves judgment, you do establish equity, you execute judgment and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt YHWH our Elohim, and worship at his footstool, because he is holy. Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that call upon his name, they called upon YHWH, and he answered them. He spoke to them in the cloud mass pillar, they guarded his testimonies, and the ordinance that he gave them. You answered them, O YHWH our Elohim, you were an Elohim that forgave them, though you took vengeance of their practices. Exalt YHWH our Elohim, and worship at his holy mount, because YHWH Elohim is holy. Make a joyful blast unto YHWH, all you lands. Serve YHWH with gladness, come before his presence with singing. Know that YHWH, he is Elohim, it is he that has fashioned us, and not we ourselves, we are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise, be thankful to him and bless his name. Because YHWH is good, his goodness is age-lasting, and his truth from generation to generation. I will sing of goodness and judgment, unto you O YHWH I will sing. I will incline myself circumspectly in a complete way. Oh, when will you come to me? I will walk within my house with a heart of integrity. I will set no worthless thing before my eyes, I hate the work of them that fall away, it will not cleave to me. A perverse heart will depart from me, I will not know a wicked one. Whoever privately slanders his friend, him I will cut off, the high of eyes and proud of heart, him I endure not. My eyes will be upon the faithful of the land, that they may abide with me, he that walks in a wholesome way, he will serve me. He that works deceit will not live within my household, he that tells lies will not remain in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of YHWH. Hear my prayer O YHWH, and let my cry come to you. Hide not your face from me in the day when I am in trouble, incline your ear to me, in the day when I call, answer me speedily. Because my days are consumed like smoke, and my bones are burnt as an hearth. My heart is stricken and withered like grass, so that I forget to eat my food. By reason of the voice of my groaning my bones cleave to my skin. I am like a pelican of the wilderness, I am like an owl of the desert. I watch, and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop. My enemies taunt me all the day, and they that are mad against me are sworn against me. Because I have eaten ashes like bread, and mingled my drink with weeping, because of your indignation and your anger, because you have lifted me up and cast me down. My days are like a shadow that declines, and I am withered like grass. But you O YHWH, will endure for the ages, and your memorial to all generations. You rise, you pity Zion, for the time to favor her, for the appointed place has been brought in. Because your slaves take pleasure in her stones and favor that ground. So the nations will fear the name of YHWH, and all the kings of the earth your glory. When YHWH will rebuild up Zion, he will appear in his glory. He will regard the prayer of the destitute, and not despise their prayer. This will be written for the generation to come, and the people that will be created will praise YHWH. Because he has looked down from the elevated place of his sanctuary, from the cosmos did YHWH regard the earth, to hear the groaning of the prisoner, to loose sons of death, to declare the name of YHWH in Zion, and his praise in Jerusalem, when the people are gathered together, and the kingdoms, to serve YHWH. He weakened my strength in the way, he shortened my days. I said, O my Elohim, take me not away in the middle of my days, your years are throughout all generations. Of old, the earth you did found, and the work of your hands are the cosmos. They will vanish, but you will remain, yes, all of them will wax old like a garment, as a garment you will change them, and they will be changed, but you are the same, and your years will have no end. The children of your slaves will continue, and their descendants will be established before you. Bless YHWH O my life, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless YHWH, O my life, and forget not all his benefits, who forgives all your depravities, who heals all your diseases, who ransoms your life from destruction, who crowned you with goodness and compassion, who satisfies your mouth with good so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. YHWH executes righteousness and judgment for all that are oppressed. He made known his ways to Moses, his acts to the children of Israel. YHWH is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in goodness. He will not always contend, neither will he maintain his anger for the ages. He has not dealt with us after our sins, nor rewarded us according to our depravities. Because as the cosmos is exalted above the earth, so great is his goodness toward them that fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us. Like a dad pities his children, so YHWH pities them that fear him. Because he knows our frame, he remembers that we are dust. As for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field, so he flourishes. Because a wind has passed over it, and it is not, and its place does not discern it any more. But the goodness of YHWH is from the ages to the ages upon them that fear him, and his righteousness to children's children, to such as observe his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to institute them. YHWH has prepared his throne in the cosmos, and his kingdom rules over all. Bless YHWH, you his angels, that excel in strength, that do his commandments, listening to the voice of his word. Bless YHWH, all you his hosts, your ministers of his, that do his pleasure. Bless YHWH, all his works in all places of his dominion. Bless YHWH, O my life. Bless YHWH, O my life, O YHWH Elohim, you are very great, you are clothed with honor and majesty. Who covers yourself with light as a garment, who stretches out the cosmos like a curtain, who is laying the beam of his upper chambers in the waters, who is making dark clouds his chariot, who is walking on wings of wind, who makes his angels spirits, his ministers a blazing supernatural fire, who founded the established place of the earth so that it should not be dislodged for the ages. You covered it with the deep as with a garment, the waters stood above the mountains. At your rebuke they fled, at the voice of your thunder they speeded away. They go up by the mountains, they go down by the valleys to the place that you have established for them. You have set a border that they may not pass over, that they return not again to cover the land. He sends the springs into the valleys, that run among the hills. They give drink to every animal of the field, the wild donkeys quench their thirst. By them will the flying creatures of the sky have their habitation, that sing among the branches. He waters the hills from his roof chambers, the land is satisfied with the fruit of your works. He causes the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of mankind, that he may bring forth food out of the land, and wine that makes glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and food that strengthens man's inner parts. The trees of YHWH are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon that he has planted, where the birds make their nests. As for the stork, the cypress trees are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the rock badger. He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knows its going down. You appoint darkness and it is night, in which all the beasts of the forest do creep. The young lions roar after their prey, and seek their meat, from Elohim. The sun rises, they gather themselves together, and lay themselves down in their dens. Man goes out to his work and to his labor until the sunset. O YHWH, how manifold are your works! In wisdom have you fashioned them all, the earth is full of your wealth. This, the sea, great and broad of sides, there are moving things, innumerable, living creatures, small with great. There go the ships, there is that large aquatic animal, who you have fashioned to play in there. These wait all upon you, that you may give them their food in due season. You do give to them, they gather, you do open your hand, they are satisfied with good. You hide your face, they are troubled, you take away their breath, they die and return to their dust. You send out your spirit, they are created, and you renew the surface of the earth. The glory of YHWH will endure for the ages, YHWH will rejoice in his works. He looks on the earth and it quakes, he touches the hills and they smoke. I will sing to YHWH as long as I live, I will sing praise to my Elohim while I have my being. My meditation of him will be sweet, I will be glad in YHWH. Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth, and let the wicked not exist. Bless YHWH, O my life. Praise YHWH. Oh, give thanks to YHWH, call upon his name, make known his practices among the people. Sing to him, sing praises to him, talk of all his wondrous works. Glory in his holy name, let the heart of them rejoice that seek YHWH. Inquire, through Urim Thummim, of YHWH, and his strength, seek his presence always. Remember his marvelous works that he has fashioned, his miracles and the judgments of his mouth, O you offspring of Abraham his slave, you children of Jacob his chosen. He is YHWH Elohim, his judgments are in all the earth. He has remembered his covenant for the ages, the word that he commanded to 1,000 generations. Which he cut out with Abraham and his oath to Isaac, and continued the same to Jacob for a decree, and to Israel for an age-lasting covenant, saying, To you I will give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance, when they were but a few in number, yes, very few, and foreigners in it. When they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered none to do them wrong, yes, he rebuked kings for their sakes, saying, Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Moreover he called for a famine upon the land, he broke the whole staff of bread. He sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for a slave, whose feet they hurt with fetters, he was laid in iron, until the time that his word came, the word of YHWH refined him. The king sent and loosed him, even the ruler of the people, and let him go free. He made him master of his house and ruler of all his substance, to bind his princes at his pleasure, and teach his elders wisdom. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. And he increased his people greatly, and made them stronger than their enemies. He turned their heart to hate his people, to deal craftily with his slaves. He sent Moses his slave, and Aaron who he had elected. They showed his signs among them, and miracles in the land of Ham. He sent darkness, and made it dark, and they rebelled not against his word. He turned their waters into blood and killed their fish. Their land brought forth frogs in abundance, in the chambers of their kings. He spoke and there came different sorts of flies, and lice in all their territories. He gave them hail for rain, and flaming fire in their land. He scourged their vines also and their fig trees, and broke the trees of their territory. He spoke, and the locusts came, and caterpillars without number, and did eat up all the herbs in their land, and devoured the fruit of their ground. He struck also all the firstborn in their land, the beginning of all their strength. He brought them out also with silver and gold, and there was not one that stumbled among their tribes. Egypt was glad when they departed, because the terror of them fell upon them. He spread a cloud mass for a covering, and supernatural fire to give light in the night. The people asked, and he brought quails and satisfied them with the bread from the skies. He opened the rock, and the waters gushed out, they ran in the desert like a river. Because he remembered his holy word, and Abraham his slave. And he brought out his people with joy, and his chosen with gladness, and gave them the lands of the nations, and they inherited the labor of those heathen people, that they might observe his statutes, and preserve his Torah. Praise YHWH. Praise YHWH, O give thanks to YHWH, because he is good, because his goodness endures for the ages. Who can utter the mighty acts of YHWH? Who can tell all his praise? Blessed are they that guard judgment, and he that does justice at all times. Remember me, O YHWH, with the favor of your people, O reckon me with your salvation, that I may see the good of your chosen one, that I may rejoice in the gladness of your nation, that I may glory with your inheritance. We have sinned with our forefathers, we have committed perversity, we have acted wickedly. Our forefathers understood not your wonders in Egypt, they remembered not the abundance of your goodness, but rebelled against him at the sea, even at the Red Sea. Nevertheless he saved them for his name's sake, so that he might make his mighty power to be known. He rebuked the Red Sea also, and it was dried up, so he led them through the deep places, as through the uninhabited land. And he saved them from the hand of him that hated them, and ransomed them from the hand of the enemy. And the waters spread over their enemies, there was not one of them left. Then they believed his words, they sang his praise. But they soon forgot his works, they waited not for his counsel, but coveted exceedingly in the uninhabited land, and tested Elohim in the desert. And he gave them their request, but sent wasting into their appetites. They envied Moses also in the camp, and Aaron the Holy One of YHWH. The earth opened and swallowed up Dathan, and covered the company of Abiram. And a supernatural fire was kindled in their company, the flame burnt up the wicked. They made a calf in Horeb, and worshipped the metal cast image. So they exchanged their glory into the figure of an ox that eats grass. They forgot Elohim their liberator that had done great things in Egypt, wondrous works in the land of Ham, and terrifying things by the Red Sea. Therefore he said that he would destroy them, had not Moses his chosen stood before him in the outburst, to turn away his rage, unless he should destroy them. Yes, they refused the pleasant land, they believed not his word, but murmured in their tents, and did not listen to the voice of YHWH. Therefore he lifted up his hand against them, to overthrow them in the uninhabited land, to overthrow their descendants also among the nations, and to scatter them in the lands. They joined themselves also to Baal Peor, and ate the sacrifices of the dead. So they provoked him to anger with their practices, and the plague broke in upon them. Then Phinehas stood up and executed judgment, and so the plague was restrained. And that was counted to him for righteousness unto all generations for the ages. They angered him also at the waters of Meribah, strife, so that it went ill with Moses for their sakes, because they provoked his mind, so that he spoke unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations, concerning what YHWH had commanded them, but were mingled among the nations, and learned their deeds. And they served their idols that were a snare to them. Yes, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters to demons. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, who they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan, and the land was defiled with blood. So were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own practices. Therefore was the anger of YHWH kindled against his people, inasmuch as he abhorred his own inheritance. And he gave them into the hand of the nations, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their depravity. Nevertheless he regarded their distress when he heard their cry, and he remembered for them his covenant, and regretted according to the abundance of his goodness. He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. Save us, O YHWH Elohim, and gather us from among the nations, to give thanks to your holy name, and to triumph in your praise. Blessed is YHWH Elohim of Israel for the ages unto the ages, and let all the people say, so be it. Praise YHWH. O give thanks to YHWH, because he is good, for his goodness endures for the ages. Let the ransomed of YHWH say so, who he has ransomed from the hand of the enemy, and gathered them out of the lands, from the east, and from the west, from the north, and from the south. They wandered in the uninhabited land in a desolate place, they found no city to live in. Hungry and thirsty, they fainted in them. Then they cried to YHWH in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distresses. And he led them out by the right way so that they might go to a city of habitation. Oh, that people would praise YHWH for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of mankind. Because he satisfies the longing appetite and fills the hungry with goodness. Such as sit in darkness and in death's shadow, being bound in poverty and oppression, because they rebelled against the words of Elohim, and despised the counsel of the Most High, therefore he brought down their heart with labor, they fell down and there was none to help. Then they cried to YHWH in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distresses. He brought them out of darkness and the death shadow, and broke their bonds apart. Oh, that people would praise YHWH for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of men. Because he has broken the gates of brass, and cut the bars of iron apart. The foolish because of their rebellion, and because of their depravities are afflicted. They abhorred all manner of meat, and they draw near to the gates of death. Then they cried to YHWH in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distresses. He sent his word and healed them, and delivered them from their destruction. Oh, that people would praise YHWH for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of men. And let them sacrifice the sacrifices of thanksgiving, and declare his works with rejoicing. They that go down to the sea in ships, that do business in great waters, these see the works of YHWH and his wonders in the deep sea. Because he commanded, and raised the stormy wind that lifted up the waves. They mount up to the skies, they go down again to the depths, their life is fainted because of trouble. They reel to and fro, and stagger like a drunken man, and are at their wits' end. Then they cry to YHWH in their trouble, and he brings them out of their distresses. He causes the storm to calm, so that the waves are still. Then are they glad because they are quiet, so he brings them to their desired haven. Oh, that people would praise YHWH for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of mankind. Let them exalt him also in the company of the people, and praise him in the assembly of the elders. He turns rivers into a wilderness, and the waters into dry ground, a fruitful land into barrenness, for the wickedness of them that live there. He turns the wilderness into marshes and dry ground into waters. And there he causes the hungry to live so that they may prepare a city for habitation, and sow the fields and plant vineyards that may yield fruits of increase. He blesses them also, so that they are multiplied greatly, and suffers not their cattle to decrease. And they are diminished and bowed down, by restraint, trouble and sorrow. He pours contempt upon princes, and causes them to wander in the wilderness, where there is no way. Yet he sets the poor on high from affliction, and appoints families like a flock. The righteous will see it and rejoice, and all injustice will stop her mouth. Who is wise and observes these? they understand the kind acts of YHWH. O Elohim, my heart is fixed, I will sing and give praise, even with my glory. Awake, bagpipe, skin bag, and lyre, I will awake early. I will praise you, O YHWH, among the people, and I will sing praises to you among the nations. Because your goodness is great above the cosmos, and your truth passes to the clouds. Be exalted, O Elohim, above the cosmos, and your glory above all the earth, that your beloved may be invigorated. Save with your right hand, and answer me. Elohim has spoken in his holiness, I will rejoice, I will divide Shechem, and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine, Ephraim also is the strength of my head, Judah is my engraved, Moab is my washing, over Edom I will cast out my shoe, over Philistia I will triumph. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will you not, O Elohim, who has cast us off? And will you not, O Elohim, go out with our army? Give us help from trouble, for empty is the help of man. Through Elohim we will do valiantly, because he it is that will tread down our enemies. Hold not your peace, O Elohim of my praise, because the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me, they have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They encircled me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. For my love, they have been accusing me, while I was at prayer. And they have rewarded me bad for good, and hatred for my love. Set a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. When he will be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his woman a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds, and beg, let them seek their food also out of their desolate places. Let the creditor catch all that he has, and let the foreigners plunder his labor. Let there be none to extend goodness to him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. Let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following let their name be blotted out. Let the depravity of his ancestors be remembered with YHWH, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Let them be before YHWH continually, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth. Because he remembered not to show kindness, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even kill the broken in heart. As he loved cursing, so let it come to him, as he delighted not in blessing, so let it be far from him. As he clothed himself with cursing like as with his garment, so let it come into his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones. Let it be to him as the garment that covers him, and for a girdle with which he is girded continually. Let this be the reward of my adversaries from YHWH, and of them that speak bad against my life. But produce for me, O YHWH Adonai, for your name's sake, because your goodness is valuable in estimation, deliver me. Because I am poor and needy, and my heart is wounded within me. I am gone, like the shadow when it declines, I am tossed up and down as the locust. My knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh fails of fatness. I became also a taunt to them, when they looked upon me they shook their heads. Help me, O YHWH Elohim, O save me according to your goodness, that they may know that this is your hand, that you, YHWH, have done it. Let them curse, but you will bless, when they arise, let them be ashamed, but let your slave rejoice. Let my adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion, as with a mantle. I will greatly praise YHWH with my mouth, yes, I will praise him among the multitude. Because he will stand at the right hand of the poor, to save them from those that judge his life. YHWH said to my Lord, you sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies your footstool. YHWH will send the rod of your strength out of Zion, you rule in the midst of your enemies. Your people will be willing in the day of your power, in the splendor of holiness from the womb of the dawn, you have the dew of your youth. YHWH has adjured, and will not regret, you are a priest for the ages after the manner of Melchizedek. Adonai at your right hand will strike through kings in the day of his anger. He will judge among the nations, he will fill the places with corpses, he will wound the heads of the land. He will drink of the brook in the way, therefore will he lift up the head. Praise YHWH, I will praise YHWH with my whole heart, in the assembly of the upright, and in the congregation. The works of YHWH are great, sought out of all them that have pleasure in them. His work is honorable and glorious, and his righteousness endures to future time. He has made his wonderful works to be remembered, YHWH is gracious and full of compassion. He has given food to them that fear him, he will always be mindful of his covenant. He has shown his people the power of his works, that he may give them the heritage of the nations. The works of his hands are verity and judgment, all his commandments are sure. They stand fast for the ages of the ages, and are instituted in truth and uprightness. He sent a ransom to his people, he has commanded his covenant for the ages, holy and respected is his name. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of YHWH, good discretion have all that do them, his praise endures for the ages. Praise YHWH, blessed is the man that fears YHWH, who delights greatly in his code of wisdom. His offspring will be mighty upon the land, the generation of the upright will be adored. Wealth and riches will be in his house, and his righteousness endures to the future. To the upright there arises light in the darkness, he is gracious and full of compassion, and righteous. A good man shows favor and lends, he will guide his affairs with discretion. Certainly he will not be shaken for the ages, the righteous will be an age-lasting memory. He will not be afraid of bad news, his heart is established, trusting in YHWH. His heart is established, he will not be afraid until he sees his desire upon his enemies. He has dispersed, he is given to the poor, his righteousness endures to future times, his horn will be exalted with honor. The wicked will see it and be grieved, they will gnash with their teeth, and dissolve away, the desire of the wicked will be exterminated. Praise YHWH, praise O you slaves of YHWH, praise the name of YHWH. Blessed is the name of YHWH from this time forth and for the ages. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same YHWH's name is to be praised. YHWH is high above all nations, and his glory above the cosmos. Who is like YHWH Elohim, who lives on high, he is humbling himself to look on the cosmos and on the earth. He raises up the poor out of the dust and lifts the needy out of the dunghill. That he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. Causing the barren one of the house to sit, a joyful mother of sons, praise Yah. When Israel went out of Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of strange language, Judah was his sacredness, and Israel his dominion. The sea saw it and fled, Jordan was driven back. The mountains skipped like rams, and the little hills like lambs. What ailed you, O sea that you fled? And the Jordan river that was driven back? You mountains that you skipped like rams, and you little hills, like lambs? Tremble, you earth, at the presence of YHWH, at the presence of the Elohim of Jacob, which turned the rock into a standing water, the flint into a fountain of waters. Not to us O YHWH, not to us, but to your name give glory, because your goodness, and for your truth's sake. Why do the nations say, where is now their Elohim? But our Elohim is in the cosmos, he has done whatever he has pleased. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not, eyes have they, but they see not, they have ears, but they hear not, noses have they but they smell not, they have hands, but they handle not, feet have they, but they walk not, neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusts in them. O Israel, trust in YHWH, he is their help and their shield. O house of Aaron, trust in YHWH, he is their help and their shield. You that fear YHWH, trust in YHWH, he is their help and their shield. YHWH has been mindful of us, he will bless us, he will bless the house of Israel, he will bless the house of Aaron. He will bless them that fear YHWH, both small and great. YHWH will increase you more and more, you and your children. You are blessed of YHWH that fashioned the cosmos and earth. The cosmos, even the universe, are YHWH's, but the earth he has given to the children of men. The dead praise not YHWH, neither any that go down into silence. But we will bless YHWH from this time forth and for the ages. Praise YHWH. I love YHWH, because he has heard my voice and my supplications. Because he has inclined his ear to me, therefore I will call on him as long as I live. The sorrows of death encircled me, and the straits of Sheol detected me, I found trouble and sorrow. Then I called upon the name of YHWH, O YHWH, I beseech you, deliver me. Gracious is YHWH, and righteous, yes, our Elohim is merciful. YHWH preserves the simple, I was brought low, and he helped me. Return to your rest O my life, because YHWH has dealt bountifully with you. Because you have delivered me from death, my eyes from tears and my feet from falling. I will walk before YHWH in the land of the living. I believed, therefore I have spoken, I was greatly afflicted, I said in my hurry, all men are liars. What will I render to YHWH for all his benefits toward me? I will take the cup of salvation, and call upon the name of YHWH. I will pay my votive offering to YHWH now in the presence of all his people. Precious in the sight of YHWH is the death of his saints. O YHWH, truly I am your slave, I am your slave and the son of your female slave, you have loosed my bonds. I will offer to you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call upon the name of YHWH. I will pay my votive offering to YHWH now in the presence of all his people, in the courts of YHWH's temple, in the middle of you, O Jerusalem. Praise YHWH. Oh, praise YHWH, all you nations, praise him, all you people. Because his goodness is great toward us, and the truth of YHWH is for the ages. Praise YHWH. Oh, give thanks to YHWH because he is good, because his goodness is for the ages. Let Israel now say that his goodness is for the ages. Let the house of Aaron now say that his goodness is for the ages. Let them now that fear YHWH say that his goodness is for the ages. I called upon YHWH in distress, YHWH answered me and set me in a roomy place. YHWH is on my side, I will not fear, what can man do to me? YHWH takes my part with them that help me, therefore I will see my desire upon them that hate me. It is better to trust in YHWH than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in YHWH than to put confidence in princes. All nations surrounded me all around, but in the name of YHWH I will destroy them. They surrounded me all around, yes, they encircled me all around, but in the name of YHWH I will destroy them. They surrounded me all around like bees, they are quenched as the fire of thorns, because in the name of YHWH I will destroy them. You have thrust at me so that I might fall, but YHWH helped me. YHWH is my strength and song and has become my salvation. The voice of rejoicing and salvation is in the tabernacles of the righteous, the right hand of YHWH does valiantly. The right hand of YHWH is exalted, the right hand of YHWH does valiantly. I will not be killed but live, and declare the works of YHWH. YHWH has corrected me, but he has not given me over to death. Open to me the gateways of righteousness, I will go into them and I will praise YHWH, this gateway of YHWH into which the righteous will enter. I will praise you, because you have heard me and are become my salvation. The Urim Thummim stone that the rebuilders rejected has become the head, Urim Thummim stone, of the corner. This is YHWH's doing, it is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day that YHWH has appointed, we will rejoice and be glad in it. Save now, I beseech you, O YHWH, O YHWH, I beseech you, send now prosperity. Blessed is he that comes in the name of YHWH, we have blessed you out of the house of YHWH. El is YHWH, that has shown us light, bind the sacrifice with cords, even to the horns of the altar. You are my Elohim and I will praise you, you are my Elohim, I will exalt you. O give thanks to YHWH because he is good, because his goodness is for the ages. Aleph. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the Torah of YHWH. Blessed are they that observe his testimonies, and that seek him with the whole heart. They also do no injustice, they walk in his ways. You have commanded us to observe your precepts, diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to observe your statutes. Then I will not be ashamed, when I have respect to all your codes of wisdom. I will praise you with uprightness of heart, when I will have learned your righteous judgments. I will observe your statutes, oh forsake me not greatly. Beth. How can a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to your word. With my whole heart have I sought you, oh let me not wander from your commandments. Your word have I treasured in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Blessed are you, O YHWH, teach me your statutes. With my lips I have declared all the ordinances of your mouth. I have rejoiced in the way of your testimonies, as much as in all riches. I will meditate on your precepts and have respect to your ways. I will delight myself in your statutes, I will not forget your word. Gimel. Deal bountifully with your slave so that I may live and observe your word. Open my eyes so that I may observe wondrous things out of your law. I am a foreigner in the earth, hide not your commandments from me. Broken has my life for desire unto your judgments at all times. You have rebuked the proud that are cursed, that do err from your commandments. Remove from me reproach and contempt, because I have observed your testimonies. Princes also did sit and speak against me, but your slave did meditate in your statutes. Your testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. Daleth. My life cleaves to the dust, resurrect me according to your word. I have declared my ways, and you heard me, teach me your statutes. Make me to understand the way of your precepts, so I will talk of your wondrous works. My life drips in grief, strengthen me according to your word. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me your Torah graciously. I have chosen the way of truth, your judgments I have laid before me. I have stuck to your testimonies, O YHWH, put me not to shame. I will run the way of your commandments, when you will enlarge my heart. Teach me, O YHWH, the way of your statutes, and I will observe it to its consequences. Give me understanding and I will observe your Torah, yes, I will observe it with my whole heart. Make me to go in the path of your code of wisdom, for therein do I delight. Incline my heart to your testimonies and not to covetousness. Turn away my eyes from seeing falsehood, and resurrect me in your way. Establish your word to your slave, who is devoted to your reverence. Turn away my reproach that I fear, because your judgments are good. Look, I have longed after your precepts, resurrect me in your righteousness. Vav. Let your goodness come also to me, O YHWH, even your salvation, according to your word. So I will have an answer for him that taunts me, because I trust in your word. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, because I have hoped in your judgments. So I will guard your Torah continually for the ages of the ages. And I will walk at liberty, because I inquire, by Urim Thummim of, your precepts. I will speak of your testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. And I will delight myself in your code of wisdom that I have loved. My hands also I will lift up to your commandments that I have loved, and I will meditate in your statutes. Zayin. Remember the word to your slave, upon which you have caused me to hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, because your word has resurrected me. The proud have had me greatly in derision, still I have not declined from your Torah. I remembered your judgments of old, O YHWH, and have comforted myself. Horror has taken hold of me because of the wicked that forsake your law. Your statutes have been my songs in the house of my sojourning place. I have remembered your name, O YHWH, in the night, and have observed your Torah. This I had, because I observed your precepts. Shith. You are my portion, O YHWH, I have said that I would guard your words. I appeased your face with the whole heart, favor me according to your saying. I thought on my ways and turned my feet to your testimonies. I hurried and delayed not to observe your code of wisdom. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten your law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks to you because of your righteous judgments. I am a companion of all those that fear you, and of them that observe your precepts. The land, O YHWH, is full of your goodness, teach me your statutes. Teth. You have dealt well with your slave, O YHWH, according to your word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, because I have believed your commandments. Before I was afflicted I went astray, but now have I observed your word. You are good and beneficial, teach me your statutes. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will guard your precepts with my whole heart. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in your Torah. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn your statutes. The law of your mouth is better to me than thousands of gold and silver. Yod. Your hands have made me and fashioned me, give me understanding so that I may learn your code of wisdom. They that fear you will be glad when they see me, because I have hoped in your word. I know, O YHWH, that your judgments are right, and that you in faithfulness have afflicted me. Let, I pray, your goodness be for my comfort according to your word to your slave. Let your compassion come to me so that I may live, because your law is my delight. Let the proud be ashamed, because they dealt perversely with me without a cause, but I will meditate in your precepts. Let those that fear you turn to me and those that have known your testimonies. Let my heart be sound in your statutes, that I be not ashamed. Kof. My life is spent for your salvation, but I hope in your word. Mine eyes fail for your word, saying, when will you comfort me? Because I am become like a bottle in the smoke, yet I do not forget your statutes. How many are the days of your slave? When will you execute judgment on those that persecute me? The proud have dug pits for me, that are not after your law. All your commandments are faithful, they persecute me wrongfully, help me. They had almost consumed me in the land, but I forsook not your precepts. Resurrect me after your goodness, so I will guard the testimony of your mouth. Lamed. For the ages, O YHWH, your word is settled in the universe. Your faithfulness is to all generations, you have established the earth, and it abides, they continue this day according to your ordinances, because all are your slaves. Unless your Torah was my delights, I should then have perished in my affliction. I will never forget your precepts, because with them you have restored me. I am yours, save me, because I have sought your precepts. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider your testimonies. I have seen an end of all perfection, but your code of wisdom is exceedingly broad. Oh, how love I your Torah! It is my meditation all the day. You through your commandments have made me wiser than my enemies, for they are always with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, because your testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the elders because I observe your precepts. I have refrained my feet from every bad way so that I might guard your word. I have not departed from your judgments, because you have taught me. How sweet are your words to my taste! Yes, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through your precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. None. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I have adjured and I will perform it, that I will observe your righteous ordinance. I am afflicted very much, restore me O YHWH according to your word. Accept I ask you, the freewill offerings of my mouth O YHWH, and teach me your ordinance. My life is continually in my hand, still I do not forget your law. The wicked have laid a snare for me, still I erred not from your precepts. Your testimonies I have taken as an heritage for the ages, because they are the rejoicing of my heart. I have inclined my heart to perform your statutes for the ages, even to their consequence. Samek. I hate lawless thoughts, but your law do I love. You are my hiding place and my shield, I hope in your word. Depart from me you bad ones, because I will observe the commandments of my Elohim. Uphold me according to your word so that I may live, and let me not be ashamed of my hope. Hold me up and I will be safe, and I will have respect to your statutes continually. You have trampled down all them that err from your statutes, because their deceit is falsehood. You exterminate all the wicked of the earth like dross, therefore I love your testimonies. My flesh trembled for fear of you, and I am afraid of your judgments. Ain. I have done judgment and justice, leave me not to my oppressors. Be surety for your slave for good, let not the proud oppress me. My eyes fail for your salvation and for the word of your righteousness. Deal with your slave according to your goodness, and teach me your statutes. I am your slave, give me understanding so that I may know your testimonies. It is time for you, YHWH, to work, because they have made void your Torah. Therefore I love your commandments above gold, yes, above fine gold. Therefore I esteem all your precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. P.E. Your testimonies are wonderful, therefore does my mind observe them. The unfolding of your words give light, it gives understanding to the simple. I opened my mouth and panted, because I longed for your commandments. Look upon me and show favor to me, as you used to do to those that love your name. Secure my steps in your word, and let not any trouble have dominion over me. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so I will guard your precepts. Cause your presence to shine upon your slave, and teach me your statutes. Rivers of waters run down my eyes, because they observe not your law. Zadi. Righteous are you O YHWH, and upright are your judgments. Your testimonies that you have commanded are righteous and very faithful. My zeal has consumed me, because my enemies have forgotten your words. Your word is very pure, therefore your slave loves it. I am small and despised, still I do not forget your precepts. Your righteousness is an age-lasting righteousness, and your Torah is the truth. Trouble and anguish have taken hold on me, still your commandments are my delights. The righteousness of your testimonies is for the ages, give me understanding and I will live. Kuf. I cried with my whole heart, hear me O YHWH, I will guard your statutes. I cried to you, save me and I will observe your testimonies. I anticipated the dawning of the morning and cried, I hoped in your word. My eyes anticipate the night watches so that I might meditate in your word. Hear my voice according to your goodness, O YHWH, restore me according to your judgment. They draw near that follow after mischief, they are far from your law. You are near O YHWH, and all your commandments are truth. Concerning your testimonies, I have known of old that you have founded them for the ages. Resh. Consider my affliction and deliver me, because I do not forget your Torah. Plead my cause and deliver me, restore me according to your word. Salvation is far from the wicked, because they seek not your statutes. Great is your tender compassion O YHWH, restore me according to your judgments. Many are my persecutors and my enemies, still I do not decline from your testimonies. I beheld the transgressors and was grieved, because they observed not your word. Consider how I love your precepts, restore me O YHWH, according to your goodness. Your word is true from the beginning, and every one of your righteous judgments endures to the ages. Skin. Princes have persecuted me without a cause, but my heart stands in awe of your word. I rejoice at your word, as one that finds great plunder. I hate and abhor lying, but your Torah do I love. 7 times a day do I praise you because of your righteous judgments. Great peace have they that love your law, and nothing will offend them. YHWH, I have hoped for your salvation, and accomplished your commandments. My life has observed your testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. I have observed your precepts and your testimonies, because all my ways are before you. Tau. Let my cry come near before you. O YHWH, give me understanding according to your word. Let my supplication come before you, deliver me according to your word. My lips will pour out praise, when you have taught me your statutes. My tongue will speak of your word, because all your commandments are righteousness. Let your hand help me, because I have chosen your precepts. I have longed for your salvation, O YHWH, and your law is my delight. Let me live and I will praise you, and let your judgments help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep, seek your slave because I do not forget your code of wisdom. In my distress I cried to YHWH and he heard me. Deliver me, O YHWH, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What will be given to you? Or what will be done to you, you false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty, with coals of broom plant. Woe is me that I sojourn in Mesech, that I live in the tents of Kedar. I have long abided with him that hates peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. I will lift up my eyes to the mountain from where comes my help. My help comes from YHWH that fashioned the cosmos and earth. He will not suffer your foot to be shaken, he that guards you will not slumber. Look, he that guards Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. YHWH is your protector, YHWH is your shade upon your right hand. The sun will not beat on you by day, nor the moon by night. YHWH will guard you from all badness, he will guard your life. YHWH will guard your going out and your coming in from this time forth, and even for the ages. I was glad when they said to me, let us go into the house of YHWH. Our feet will stand within your gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built as a city that is joined together, there the branch goes up, the branch of YHWH, to the testimony of Israel, to cast down before the name of YHWH. Because there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, they will prosper that love you. Peace be within your walls, and prosperity within your palaces. For my kinsmen and companions' sakes, I will now say, peace be within you. Because of the temple of YHWH Elohim I will seek your goodness. Unto you I lift up my eyes, O you that live in the cosmos. Observe, as the eyes of slaves look to the hand of their masters, and as the eyes of a slave girl to the hand of her mistress, so our eyes attend upon YHWH Elohim, until he has shown grace to us. Show favor to us, O YHWH, bestow grace on us, because we are exceedingly filled with contempt. Our life is exceedingly filled with the scorning of those that are at ease, and with the contempt of the proud. If it had not been YHWH who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been YHWH who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they would have engulfed us alive, when their anger was kindled against us, then the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over us, then the raging waters had swept over us. Blessed is YHWH, who has not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our life has escaped, as a bird out of the snare of the trapper, the snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of YHWH, who made the cosmos and the earth. They that trust in YHWH will be as Mount Zion that cannot be shaken, but abides for the ages. As the mountains are around Jerusalem, so YHWH is around his people from this time on and for the ages. Because the rod of the wicked will not rest upon the lot of the righteous, unless the righteous put forth their hands to wrong. Do good, O YHWH, to those that are good, and to those that are upright in their hearts. As for such as turn aside to their crooked ways, YHWH will lead them out with the workers of trouble, but peace will be upon Israel. When YHWH turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing, then they said among the nations, YHWH has done great things for them. YHWH has done great things for us, therefore we are glad. Turn back our captivity, O YHWH, as the streams in the south. They that sow in tears will reap in joy. He that goes out and weeps, bearing the seed basket, will doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Except YHWH build the house, they labor in vain that build it, except YHWH guard the city, the watchmen keep watch in vain. It is worthless for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he gives his beloved sleep. Lo, children are a heritage of YHWH, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that has his quiver full of them, they will not be ashamed, when he speaks with his enemies at the gate. Blessed is everyone that fears YHWH, that walks in his ways. For you will eat the labor of your hands, happy will you be, and it will be well with you. Your woman will be as a fruitful vine by the sides of your house, your children like olive plants all around your table. Observe that, so will the man be blessed that fears YHWH. YHWH will bless you out of Zion, and you will see the goodness of Jerusalem all the days of your life. Yes, you will see your children's children and peace upon Israel. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, may Israel now say, many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, still they have not prevailed against me. The plowmen plowed upon my back, they made long their furrows. YHWH is righteous, he has cut off the cords of the wicked. Let them all be confounded and turned back that hate Zion. Let them be as the grass upon the housetops, that withers before it matures, that has not filled the hand of a reaper, and the bosom of a binder of sheaves. Neither do they that go by say, the blessing of YHWH is upon you, we bless you in the name of YHWH. Out of the depths I have cried to you, O YHWH. Adonai, hear my voice, let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If you YHWH, should retain depravities, O Adonai, who will stand? But there is forgiveness with you so that you may be feared. I wait for YHWH, my life does wait, and in his word do I hope. My life waits for Adonai more than they that watch for sunrise, I say, more than they that watch for the sunrise. Let Israel hope in YHWH, for with YHWH there is goodness, and with him is increasing ransom. And he will ransom Israel from all his depravities. YHWH, my heart is not haughty, nor mine eyes lofty, neither do I exercise myself in great matters or in things too surpassing for me. Have I not compared, and kept silent my soul, as a weaned one by its mother? As a weaned one by me, is, my soul. Let Israel hope in YHWH from now on and for the ages. YHWH, remember David and all his afflictions, how he adjured to YHWH and vowed to the mighty, Elohim, of Jacob, certainly I will not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed, I will not give sleep to my eyes or slumber to my eyelids, until I find a standing place for YHWH, a dwelling place for the mighty, Elohim, of Jacob. Lo, we heard of it at Ephrata, we found it in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacles, we will worship at his footstool. Arise, O YHWH, into your resting place, you, and the ark of your strength. Let your priests be clothed with righteousness, and let your saints shout for joy. For your slave David's sake turn not away the face of your anointed. YHWH has adjured in truth to David, he will not turn from it, of the fruit of your body I will set on your throne. If your children will observe my covenant and my testimony that I will teach them, their children will also sit on your throne into the future times. Because YHWH has chosen Zion, he has desired it for his dwelling place. This is my resting place into the future times, here I will dwell, because I have desired it. I will abundantly bless her provision, I will satisfy her poor with food. I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints will shout aloud for joy. There I will make the horn of David to bud, I have furnished a lamp for my anointed. His enemies I will clothe with shame, but upon himself will his crown flourish. Lo, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head, that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, because their YHWH commanded the blessing, even life for the ages. Lo, bless YHWH, all slaves of YHWH that by night stand in the house of YHWH. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary, and bless YHWH. YHWH that fashioned the cosmos and earth bless you out of Zion. Praise YHWH, praise the name of YHWH, praise him O you slaves of YHWH. You that stand in the temple of YHWH, in the courts of the temple of our Elohim, praise YHWH, because YHWH is good, sing praises to his name, for it is pleasant. Because YHWH has chosen Jacob to himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. Because I know that YHWH is great, and that our Lord is above all Elohim. Whatever YHWH pleases to do, he has done, in the cosmos and in earth, in the seas and all deep places, he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth, he makes lightning for the rain, he brings the wind out of its treasuries. Who struck the firstborn of Egypt, both of man and animal? Who sent omens and miracles into the middle of you, O Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and all his slaves? Who struck great nations and killed mighty kings, Sihon king of the Amorites, and Og king of Bashan, and all the kingdoms of Canaan, and gave their land for a heritage to Israel his people. Your name O YHWH abides for the ages, and your memory O YHWH, throughout all generations. Because YHWH will judge his people and he will console himself concerning his slaves. The idols of the nations are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not, eyes have they, but they see not, they have ears, but they hear not, neither is there any breath in their mouths. They that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusts in them. Bless YHWH, O house of Israel, bless YHWH, O house of Aaron, bless YHWH, O house of Levi, you that fear YHWH, bless YHWH. Blessed is YHWH out of Zion, that settles down at Jerusalem, praise YHWH. Oh, give thanks to YHWH, because he is good, because his goodness abides for the ages. Oh, give thanks to the Elohim of Elohim, because his goodness abides for the ages. Oh, give thanks to the Lord of Lords, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him who alone does great wonders, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him that by wisdom fashioned the universe, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him that stretched out the earth above the waters, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him that produced great lights, because his goodness abides for the ages. The sun to rule by day, because his goodness abides for the ages. The moon and stars to rule by night, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him that struck Egypt in their firstborn, because his goodness abides for the ages. And brought out Israel from among them, because his goodness abides for the ages. With a strong hand and with a stretched out arm, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him that divided the Red Sea into parts, because his goodness abides for the ages. And caused Israel to pass through the middle of it, because his goodness abides for the ages. But overthrew Pharaoh and his army in the Red Sea, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him that led his people through the uninhabited land, because his goodness abides for the ages. To him that struck great kings, because his goodness abides for the ages. And killed famous kings, because his goodness abides for the ages. Sihon king of the Amorites, because his goodness abides for the ages. And Og the king of Bashan, because his goodness abides for the ages. And gave their land for a heritage, because his goodness abides for the ages. Even a heritage to Israel his slave, because his goodness abides for the ages. Who remembered us in our low estate, because his goodness abides for the ages. And has rescued us from our enemies, because his goodness abides for the ages. Who gives food to all flesh, because his goodness abides for the ages. Oh, give thanks to the Elohim of the universe, because his goodness abides for the ages. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yes we wept, when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps on the willows in its midst. Because they that carried us away captive from there required of us a song, and they that tormented us required of us gaiety, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion. How will we sing YHWH's song in a foreign land? If I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand wither. If I do not remember you, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, if I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Remember, O YHWH, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to its foundation. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy will he be, that rewards you as you have dealt to us. Happy will he be, that takes and dashes your little ones against the stones. I will praise you with my whole heart, before the Elohim I will sing praise to you. I will worship toward your holy temple, and praise your name for your goodness and for your truth, because you have magnified your word above all your fame. In the day when I cried you answered me, and you did strengthen me in life with strength. All the kings of the earth will praise you, O YHWH, when they hear the words of your mouth. Yes, they will sing in the ways of YHWH, for great is the glory of YHWH. Though YHWH is exalted, still he has respect to the lowly, and the haughty from afar he knows. Though I walk in the middle of trouble, you will restore me, you will stretch out your hand against the anger of my enemies, and your right hand will save me. YHWH will bring to an end what concerns me, your goodness, O YHWH, abides for the ages, forsake not the works of your own hands. O YHWH, you have searched me and known me. You know my place and my rising, you understand my thoughts afar off. You compass my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. Because there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O YHWH, you know it altogether. You have beset me behind and before and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, it is exalted, I cannot attain to it. Where will I go from your spirit? Or where will I flee from your presence? If I ascend up into the cosmos, you are there, if I make my bed in Sheol, I behold you. If I take the wings of the morning, and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there will your hand lead me, and your right hand will hold me. If I say, certainly the darkness will cover me, even the night will be light around me. Yes, the darkness hides not from you, but the night shines as the day, the darkness and the light are both created. Because you have possessed my reins, you have covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made, marvelous are your works, that I know very well. My frame was not hidden from you, when I was fashioned in secret places, and protected skillfully in the lower parts of the dust, soil. Your eyes did see my substance, still being an embryo, and in your book it was recorded, that a lifetime was fashioned before they came into existence. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O Elohim! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. Certainly you will kill the wicked, O Elohim. Depart from me therefore, you bloody men. Because they speak against you wickedly, and lifted up to vanity are your enemies. Do I not hate them, O YHWH that hate you? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against you? I hate them with complete hatred, I count them my enemies. Search me, O Elohim, and know my heart, examine me and know my thoughts, and see if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way age-lasting. Deliver me, O YHWH, from the bad man, preserve me from the violent man, that imagine bad in their heart, continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent, adder's poison is under their lips. Selah. Guard me, O YHWH, from the hands of the wicked, preserve me from the violent man, who have purposed to overthrow my steps. The proud have hidden a snare for me, with cords, they have spread a net by the wayside, they have set lures for me. Selah. I said to YHWH, you are my Elohim, hear the voice of my supplications, O YHWH. O YHWH Adonai, the strength of my salvation, you have covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, O YHWH, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked device, unless they exalt themselves. Selah. As for the head of those that encircle me all around, let the trouble of their own lips cover them. Let burning coals fall upon them, let them be cast into the fire, into watery pits that they rise not up again. A talkative man is not established in the earth, one of violence, evil hunts to overflowing. I know that YHWH will maintain the cause of the poor and their rights. Certainly the righteous will give thanks to your name, the upright will live in your presence. YHWH, I cry to you, hurry to me, give ear to my voice when I cry to you. Let my prayer be set forth before you as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Set a watch, O YHWH, before my mouth and guard the door of my lips. Incline not my heart to any bad thing, to practice wicked works with men that work trouble, and let me not eat of their delicacies. Let a righteous man beat me in kindness and correct me, an oil for the head, which, my head disallowed not, for still my prayer is about their vexations. When their judges are overthrown in stony places, they will hear my words because they are sweet. Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth, as when one cuts and splits wood upon the land. But my eyes are to you, O YHWH Adonai, in you is my trust, leave not my life destitute. Guard me from the snares that they have laid for me, and the lures of the workers of trouble. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, while I altogether escape. I cried to YHWH with my voice to YHWH did I make my supplication. I poured out my complaint before him, I confessed before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then you knew my path. In the way in which I walked have they secretly laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me, refuge failed me, no man cared for me. I cried to you, O YHWH, I said, you are my refuge and my portion in the land of the living. Attend to my cry, because I am brought very low, deliver me from my persecutors, because they are stronger than I, bring me out of prison so that I may praise your name. The righteous will encircle me all around, because you will deal bountifully with me. Hear my prayer, O YHWH, give ear to my supplications, in your faithfulness answer me and in your righteousness. And enter not into judgment with your slave, for no one living is justified before you. Because the enemy has persecuted me, he has beaten my life down to the ground, he has made me to live in darkness, as those that have been long dead. Therefore is my spirit overwhelmed within me, my heart within me is desolate. I remember the days of old, I meditate on all your works, I muse on the work of your hands. I stretch out my hands to you, my life thirsts after you, as a thirsty land. Selah. Hear me speedily, O YHWH, my spirit failed, hide not your presence from me, unless I be like them that go down into the pit. Cause me to hear your goodness in the morning, because in you do I trust, cause me to know the way in which I should walk, because I lift up my life to you. Deliver me from my enemies, O YHWH, near you I am covered. Teach me to do your will, because you are my Elohim, your spirit is good, lead me into the land of uprightness. Resurrect me O YHWH, for your name's sake, for your righteousness' sake bring me out of trouble. And in your kindness cut off my enemies, and you have destroyed all the adversaries of my life, because I am your slave. Blessed is YHWH my strength, that teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight, my goodness, and my stronghold, my secure place and my deliverer, my shield and he in whom I trust, who subdues my people under me. YHWH, what is man that you take knowledge of him? Or the son of man that you make account of him? The earth-born resembles a vapor and his days pass as a shadow. Part your cosmos O YHWH and come down, touch the mountains and they will smoke. Cast forth lightning, and scatter them, shoot out your arrows and destroy them. Send your hand from above, rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of alien children, whose mouth speaks falsehood, and their right hand is a right hand of deception. I will sing a new song to you O Elohim, upon a bagpipe, skin bag, and an instrument of 10 strings I sing praises to you. It is he that gives salvation to kings, who delivers David his slave from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of alien children, whose mouth speaks falsehood, and their right hand is a right hand of deception, that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as hewn stones, polished after the pattern of a palace, that our garners may be full, affording all manner of store, that our sheep may bring forth thousands and 10,000s in our streets, that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there is no breaking in, nor going out, that there is no outcry in our open plaza. Oh the happiness of the people that are so, oh the happiness of the people whose Elohim is YHWH. I will extol you my Elohim, O King, and I will bless your name for the ages of the ages. Every day I will bless you, and I will praise your name for the ages of the ages. Great is YHWH, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness cannot be investigated. One generation will praise your works to another, and will declare your mighty acts. I will speak of the glorious honor of your majesty and of your wondrous works. And people will speak of the might of your terrible acts, and I will declare your greatness. They will abundantly exclaim the memory of your great goodness, and will sing of your righteousness. YHWH is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger, and of great goodness. YHWH is good to all, and his compassion covers over all his works. All your works will praise you O YHWH, and your saints will bless you. They will speak of the glory of your kingdom, and talk of your strength, to make known to the sons of men his mighty acts and the glorious majesty of his kingdom. Your kingdom is an age-lasting kingdom, and your dominion lasts throughout all generations. YHWH upholds all that fall and raises up all those that are bowed down. The eyes of all wait on you, and you give them their food in due season. You open your hand, and satisfy the desire of every living thing. YHWH is righteous in all his ways and faithful in all his works. YHWH is near to all them that call on him, to all that call on him in truth. He will accomplish the desire of them that fear him, he also will hear their cry and will save them. YHWH preserves all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth will speak the praise of YHWH, and let all flesh bless his holy name for the ages of the ages. Praise YHWH, O my life. While I live will I praise YHWH, I will sing praises to my Elohim while I have any existence. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man in whom there is no help. His breath goes out, he returns to the ground, in that very day of his death, his thoughts are destroyed. Happy is he that has the Elohim of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in YHWH Elohim, who fashioned the cosmos and earth, the sea and all that exists therein, who is keeping truth for the age, who executes judgment for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry. YHWH frees the prisoners, YHWH opens the eyes of the blind, YHWH raises them that are bowed down, YHWH loves the righteous, YHWH preserves the foreigners, he relieves the fatherless and widow, but the way of the wicked he turns upside down. YHWH will reign for the ages, even your Elohim O Zion, unto all generations, praise YHWH. Praise YHWH, because it is good to sing praises to our Elohim, for it is pleasant and praise is beautiful. YHWH does build up Jerusalem, he gathers together the outcasts of Israel. He heals the broken in heart and binds up their wounds. He counts the number of the stars, he calls them all by their names. Great is our YHWH and of great power, his understanding is infinite. YHWH lifts up the poor and he casts the wicked down to the ground. Sing to YHWH with thanksgiving, sing praise on the lyre to our Elohim, who spreads over the skies with clouds, who prepares rain for the land, who causes grass to grow on the mountains. He gives to the animals their food, and to the young ravens that cry. He delights not in the strength of the horse, he takes not pleasure in the legs of a man. YHWH takes pleasure in them that fear him, in those that hope in his goodness. Praise YHWH, O Jerusalem, praise Elohim, O Zion. Because he has strengthened the bars of your gates, he has blessed your children within you. He makes peace in your borders, and fills you with the finest of the wheat. He sends out his commandment upon earth, his word runs very swiftly. He gives snow like wool and he scatters the hoarfrost like ashes. He casts out his ice like morsels, and who can stand before his cold? He sends out his word and dissolves them, he causes his wind to blow, and the waters to flow. He reveals his word to Jacob, his statutes and his judgments to Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise YHWH. Praise YHWH, praise YHWH from the cosmos, praise him in the elevated place. Praise him all his angels, praise him all his hosts. Praise him, sun and moon, praise him all you stars of light. Praise him you cosmos of the universe, and you waters that are above the skies. Let them praise the name of YHWH, because he commanded and they were created. He has also established them for the ages of the ages, he has issued a decree that will not pass. Praise YHWH from the earth you see serpents and all deep seas, fire and hail, snow, and vapor, stormy wind fulfilling his word, mountains and all hills, fruitful trees, and all cedars, animals, and all cattle, creeping things, and flying fowls, kings of the earth and all people, princes, and all judges of the earth, both young men, and virgins, old men, and children, let them praise the name of YHWH, because his name alone is excellent, his glory is above the earth and cosmos. He also exalts the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near to him. Praise YHWH. Praise YHWH, sing to YHWH a new song, and his praise in the company of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that fashioned him, let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance, let them sing praises to him with the tambourine and lyre. Because YHWH takes pleasure in his people, he will beautify the poor with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory, let them sing aloud upon their beds. The exaltation of Elohim is in their throat, and a two-edged sword in their hand. To execute vengeance upon the nations and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise YHWH. Praise YHWH, praise Elohim in his sanctuary, praise him in the expanses of his strength. Praise him for his mighty acts, praise him according to his excellent greatness. Praise him with the sound of the ram's horn, praise him with the bagpipe, skin bag, and lyre. Praise him with the tambourine and dance, praise him with stringed instruments and reed pipe, flutes. Praise him upon the loud cymbals, praise him upon the high-sounding cymbals. Let everything that has breath praise YHWH, praise YHWH.